here are some things that are going on in the Tom and Dan universe. We've got our BDM Appreciation Luau Party coming up April 20th.
This is going to be so good, but you got to be a BDM member to participate.
Yep, and you got to be a BDM member to find out all the details. We sent out the information to all active BDMs, but you still have time to sign up because we're still going to send out the one more email to all active BDMs.
Yes.
And you can go on the BDM page and find out all the information, or email us. We'll give you the information if you are BDM.
Show@tomandan.com. Yeah, just shoot me an email. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, but we've got a whole show involved. Fire dancers. We've got
we're hiring
coconut bras.
We're hiring models. We have
it's a whole
tiki
thing.
Men. We have Polynesian tiki men.
Yeah.
We have the fire dagger dancer that will be on site.
And so that's going to happen April 20th. And then after that, on May 31st, we've got our 10-year anniversary live show at the Ritz Theater in Sanford.
Yes, for a corporate time with Tom and Dan.
So we're doing a stand-up from 6 to 7. Ross, we've got Vince Taylor, we've got Ken Miller doing stand-up for the first hour.
Yeah, and then we're going to do a corporate time with Tom and Dan live from the Ritz Theater at the Wayne Dench Performing Arts Center. It's going to be awesome. We'll go on the stage. Maybe some special guest will pop by.
Yeah, tickets are $10, and you get also an ACT gift and a free drink ticket to Tuffy's, where the after party is going to be at.
In a weird way, you and I were just talking about how we never get a chance to enjoy.
Yeah.
I'm going to actually take some time to enjoy 10 years of us actually pulling that off. That's quite the accomplishment. We never sit back and look like
been 10 years?
We have done 10 years, and with the help of Sam and Ross and all these people and all the characters that have been on a corporate time, it is very confusing to me that we have done it for 10 years.
Also, it has to be the longest running radio show that we didn't even want to do in the first place.
It is the longest running reluctant radio show of all time. Write that down. That's a brand new slogan. The longest running reluctant radio show.
I don't know.
We still don't like doing it, but it's just chugging down the track, and we're going to do a live reluctant. We're going to do a live reluctant radio show, and you can be a part of it. And then, like Tom said, afterwards, if you've never checked out Downtown Sanford, for some weird reason, this year's been a year where we get a lot of newbies and people saying, "This is my first event." I think a lot of that has to do with COVID or whatever. But hey, make this your first event. Come to Sanford, hang out, and have a great time.
Yeah, and if tickets do sell out, you can always just come to the after party at Tuffy's. Tuffy's got a band for us
Live
at the
band.
Music Box. So.
Yeah, man.
And then after that, there's going to be some more things going on. But in September, we've got the Tom and Dan Cruise. Here's the website, TomandDanCruise2024.com.
Don't go to TomandDanCruise.com. And do not, and whatever you do, don't let you or your dad or your grandma throw money into their gambling abyss. It's a gambling abyss.
Yeah. It got, the TomandDanCruise.com got stolen by a Japanese gambling website.
It is now owned by Bet Home, which I don't even know what that is, but they own it, so just don't go near it.
Anyway, so if you go to TomandDanCruise2024.com, you still have time to book. It doesn't have to be paid off till June, so you could fill out the form.
Do you want to let them know here?
What?
Like the secrets.
Oh, yeah.
Because we have cruise secrets.
Well, we've
been holding on to these cruise secrets, too.
We just invited Brendan O'Connor.
Yeah!
Who's going to be...
No. Brenda will be on the boat. It's Brenda's boat, baby.
They will be on the boat, and so Brendan's coming to hang out with us this year. We invited him the other day, and he agreed to come.
I heard old Bus Dogger's going to be on here.
Bus Decker's coming.
Yeah.
And Cadillac Pat
I
was
heard
on us.
Cadillac Pat was going to be on the boat.
And hundreds of other BDMs and Tom and Dan listeners. So if you want to go on that cruise, again, you can book it at TomandDanCruise2024.com. Comes with an unlimited free drink package, free Wi-Fi.
Yeah. It's really brand new boat.
It's a good deal.
It is a brand new boat. Guys, thank you so much. Enjoy these events. And now enjoy your best of ACT of the week.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. On the couch with us today is Ross. What's up, buddy?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good to see you, man.
So we just got back from our trip, our spring break
and we've
trip.
completely forgotten how to do this. I'm like, my ears hurt. It's too loud. I don't want to talk into this thing.
Dan said, I'm going to start recording. He hit the rewind button like 3 or 4 times. It was crazy.
I did. It's nuts. I have no idea what I'm doing in here. Hell's a popping on a Monday.
We'll tell you about Manscaped, though, if you want some beard trimmers, some downstairs grooming products.
If you want to shave your legendary gray sideburns, maybe you went on a ski trip and you found out that as you were skiing with your family that your cheeks go full gray. Maybe you found that out. Not me. I'm not talking about me. Maybe you have a friend. Maybe I have a friend that has poofy gray-haired cheeks that he uses the beard hedger, and he manscapes them good.
I did. Maybe the handyman. You could throw this in your car.
I like the handyman.
It's easily rechargeable. Use promo code TomandDan20 for 20% off your purchase and free shipping worldwide. Manscaped.com.
Manscaped, my balls is hot.
So
I was going to bring that up with you guys because I was listening to Rainn Wilson, Dwight from The Office. He has a podcast.
Soul Pancake.
No, it's this one where he's like pretending
that was
to
his
be
company, though. Soul Pancake.
It's called Dark Air. I think he's pretending to be like a Alex not Alex Jonesy, but more of a George Norrie type of character, and it's interesting. I've listened to a couple.
Is it a fictional?
Yeah. Okay. He's playing a character. He does a Manscaped ad that is like triple X rated, and I wanted to tell you guys.
Wow! It is. It's a pretty graphic one.
Couldn't even begin to say it.
Before we moved the Manscaped
Dwight's
property,
doing Manscaped, so why?
He's shaving his beats.
I know what they pay. It can't be worth it.
Before we moved the Manscaped property, we know they do.
But even if it's 10 times more, it still can't be
probably $200.
Before we moved it to ACT, Manscaped was filthy. We used to do some real bangers. Some real nasty.
We had to move shows because they canceled the other one.
They canceled the other one. We're like, well, may we offer you a corporate time, Manscaped?
Don't put this in there.
Yeah, cut this part out. Who are we talking to anymore? The lady that cuts the things out's gone. What's her name?
It's just us now.
Sam?
Anyway, so a couple things. One, I got back at 2:30, 3 in the morning last night, or yesterday morning. Whatever.
Them budget tickets.
And
flying in the middle of the. Or were you trying to squeeze every bit of vacation out of vacation?
It's also why we left on a Friday instead of
you had like
Saturday.
an hour and a half to pack, right? We ended the show on you were here. We ended the show, and this guy's like, he's like, I gotta go. I have about 2 hours before we fly out. I'm like, 2 hours?
He looked like the human version of a fizzling fuse.
Yeah.
He just looked like he was burning alive.
But yeah, by the way, that last show, we woke up at 3:45 in the morning for a 6 a.m. flight on that day, whatever, and then we just got back.
Barely even have time to get drunk enough to go to sleep.
3 in the morning yesterday morning.
Yeah.
So, but the flights were delayed a couple times, and the first
Big storm,
time,
right?
No, this had nothing to do with a storm. It was complete
Obama.
coincidence, random weird things. So when we were leaving Colorado or whatever. So we're loading the plane, and
did Tommy and Max throw all their drugs away in that little amnesty bin on the way out?
No. I take them in my pocket.
I've always wanted to put my weed in there just to say I put my weed in there, but I don't want to get rid of my weed.
I always wanted to reach into there and grab stuff out of it just to say I got drugs out of the amnesty box.
Did I ever tell you at the time, this was years ago when I used to be nervous about flying with weed, that I took a handful of gummies and I put them in the kids' pack and play?
I do remember this. Yeah. Didn't you almost get divorced over this?
Yeah.
Well, Crystal was...
Or is that the real part I shouldn't say? Because I remember No, I'm dead serious. I think there was some... if I remember correctly, you had hidden this in a diaper bag or something, and then
I think it was something the kids were carrying.
Your wife... I thought Crystal was going to kill you, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
I remember this story.
You put him in Dora the Explorer's backpack.
I wouldn't tell this one.
Remind me never to tell Crystal anything I'm doing, because that's really the problem. Because if I just
kept rat you out.
If I just kept it quiet, then everything would be fine. Because everything's always fine.
But why do you tell her everything? This happens all the time when I'm like, hey, don't call her and tell her that, and you do.
You should really get Don't Tell and Crystal just tattooed on your palms.
I have to get it off my chest. I can't live with it because I'm sitting there, I'm like, if I get arrested in front of my sons.
You are the worst Edgar Allan Poe character of all time.
So
sometimes I want to tell my wife sometimes because she's so she's been living with me 20 plus years now. She's so inured to it. Every once in a while, I got something. I'm just like, this will surprise her. I can't wait.
Yeah. So we load the plane, and first, everybody's in a hurry to stand in line to get on the airplane.
I don't know why people do
this thing ever.
It makes me so nervous as a nervous flyer. There's nothing that aggravates me more because I'm a sit down until I'm ready to go guy because it helps my nerves. You've seen me do this. It makes me so anxious when everybody starts pacing and lining up. I'm like, what are you doing? Stop that. Stop it!
And it's because like everybody is afraid that the overhead bins are going to be full and they're not going to be able to get their bag.
But that does happen.
It does. But
you should have thought of that. You shouldn't have bought a cheap ass ticket. You should have got a good ticket so you get on there fast.
The loading crew uses panic as a tool because they want you in there they don't want you sitting there until the last second and then wait until there's two people and getting up in line because that's going to cost them a second or two. So they say last call when there's 85 people still in line a million times.
And so we've been flying enough where I'm just like, let's just wait until all the line is in there.
There's no guy that posts up at the end of the line with a machine gun and says, no, they said last call. You can't get in line now.
Are you a paper ticket man or are you a digital ticket man?
It's all digital now. It's all on your phone.
I still go and demand a paper ticket. I just like the feel. I like the feel. I also try to smoke on the airplane, but they don't let me do that. They don't let me do it. I wear a fedora too.
So I'm usually, and then Crystal, like she's anxious, so she wants to get on the plane and get the kids
get set
and whatever. I'm just like, let's wait to the last possible minute, then get on when everybody's sitting down because we have.
I'll boo you if you do that.
Like we don't have any.
I'll boo you. I'm one of those guys.
No. But everybody's sitting there.
Right.
But why stand in the line? Because everybody's like
somebody has to be last in line. Why not be last in line?
Yeah. And then you're standing. You're doing that awkward thing where you're just walking 2 inches at a time in between the seats, waiting. Like what the hell are we doing? Just wait. Anyway.
Best case, you get on that plane and then you sit on that plane where you're going to be sitting for several hours anyway for like an extra 20 or 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. So
I don't like people standing next to me while I'm sitting in again, as a nervous flyer, when you're all lined up down the aisle and I'm in the middle of the plane and you're like standing next to me real close to their bags, it freaks me out.
Going in, I don't mind. Going out, though, the guy that stands in the aisle and just waits for them to open the doors for however long that takes.
That's the guy I almost got in a fight with. Remember when I was pushing my bag and 100 times?
Kneecap that guy.
Sit down, sir.
Yeah.
He
can now. He already left his seat. He can't. There's no more seats.
So anyway, so we get in line. We're like some of the last people to get on the plane.
What are you wearing, by the way? Sorry, not in a weird way, but in like a...
Oh, I'm full
bathrobe, hair rollers, fuzzy slippers.
No, I wear hoodie, jeans, and my running shoes. A comfortable dad
you have like
attire.
Fortnite pajama pants. You got to have on a tie-dye.
By the way, but when I travel, I put a hat on and I put earbuds in.
Hey,
and
can I tell you something?
I take 2 gummies and I'm going.
Can I give you a compliment?
Yeah.
I haven't given you a compliment since you've been back.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. Wore a hat on this holiday, on this vacation. I saw you wearing hats.
Yeah.
I called the family I was like, he's wearing hats. He's wearing hats. You still rocked a few bandanas, but you had the hat on. I was proud. You had a man, like a curved man's hat.
I'm getting into the vacation dad hat. Or you put on a hat or
Adventure Dad.
Anyway, so
I recently purchased a Smokey the Bear hat.
I have a Smokey the Bear hat.
A hat with Smokey the Bear on it, not a Smokey the Bear style hat.
Oh no, I have a Smokey the Bear that says don't cause forest fires.
It's not the first time that's caused confusion.
So anyway, we're in line in the gangway, which is a weird.
You think you're fancier than me because you know all the stuff? You think you're fancier than me because you know all the stuff?
Just the hallway that plugs into the plane.
It's the plastic hallway that you stand in, where they put the wheelchairs.
On the port side or the starboard side?
And we're
damn it, you guys are smart today.
we're waiting. Then all of a sudden, Crystal's like, "Oh no, there's a problem." They called what they call like a red jacket, and Crystal knows.
I know what that means. Somebody had their period on the plane. I've seen the red jacket before. Then they're going to come in there with some wet wipes.
And Crystal knows the lingo because her mom was a flight attendant for 45 years.
Some old lady had her period on the plane.
And they called it. And so then we all halt.
We got an old girl in my red jacket.
And then there's a red jacket, and then she's calling in support, right? And
it's a big one, heavy flow. It's a heavy flow red jacket.
And she's like, "Everybody stop, get to the side."
Get to the side. It's like the elevator from The Shining. My God.
We have someone that needs to deplane, and they have a medical emergency, right? So
that's not a medical emergency. That's just the meaning of life.
We're standing in the gangway, and we're not. I can't even see the door to the plane. Like it turns a left or whatever. So we're just standing there with probably 20 people, and
that's a lot of people.
But it's the last 20 people, so everybody else is on the plane. So then all of a sudden,
do you hear anything?
No, just the lady standing there, and then so we see 2 airport
EMTs come, and then all of a sudden,
fire tampons. I don't have any tampons.
Local Denver fire department shows up, and then I'm like, this ain't good. Like, this is going to be a while.
Oh, like that old man that died at Walmart I saw.
So they bring the little airport or like the airplane wheelchair, the one, the tiny skinny one, whatever. So they bring that. They like the firefighters there, EMT there, and they have to get someone off the plane. So we're sitting there waiting, and then they all of a sudden they bring in a stretcher.
Oh no!
And I'm like, well, this isn't good. Like they bring in a stretcher. I'm like,
passed out.
And then I'm like, did the guy have a heart attack or whatever? But no one's in a huge rush, so it's not like And I think if someone has like a heart attack or they do something like that, like they get everybody off the plane. Like so something's happening.
But
someone's having an
making
episode.
You leave.
No, they're not making us leave, and they just like we have to get this person who's having a medical emergency out. So
chat room thinks somebody got too inebriated or stoned.
That's what we thought.
All right.
We thought inebriated, took the Xanax too early.
That's a good guess.
Because if someone, a lot of times they'll like forcefully remove you if you're just sitting there like unconsciously
drunk. Have I
drunk.
ever done that when I've flown with you? I don't think.
No. I'll hold you up like Commando. I'll put the pith helmet. Yeah. Like we're good.
It's fine.
All right. I'll wait. All weekend at Bernie's you out of there.
And I'm little too, so I'm the perfect one to do that.
So they get this all of a sudden they get the person on the stretcher, right? And
man or woman?
It's a man, a younger guy too.
You always want a woman because you want him to be. We have to cut her shirt off.
And then I hear,
let her breathe.
I hear the person like, oh, he grabbed a handful of candy, like whatever. So my stepdad was diabetic, so I realized like, oh, this is a diabetic issue, right?
He grabbed a handful of candy. What, they just had an open candy bucket?
They have candy bowls.
Sir, shut your candy bowl. You're killing people.
They have candy bowls near. I think it's for diabetes because it's like, here, have some candy so you don't.
I hope they take the wrappers off because that's not going to do much.
Or did he get a handful of candies out of the amnesty box and he's freaking out?
So it looks like this guy's having a diabetic episode, right? And I know that because my stepdad used to have diabetic episodes all the time because
he watched him faint in the kitchen in his jean shorts. His balls would hang out.
And so this guy is in and out of consciousness, and they must have given him the
Narcan him because we don't know what to do.
They must have given him like the sugar gel in his mouth or whatever. So his mouth was foaming.
Too much candy? Wouldn't they need to give him like insulin or something at that point?
Well, they need to give you sugar because your sugar's crashed.
No, but he had a handful of candy is what Ross is saying.
He had too much candy, so he's spiking, right?
No.
Give him some, saltines.
He grabbed the can. My stepdad would do this. He'd realize he's starting to go into some sort of episode and he needs sugar.
Oh, it's like the equivalent of like in the shower you're dying and you grab the shower curtain and pull it down. So it's like you grab the candy bowl and you dump all the candy.
Okay, so he went for the candy, and that's how they knew. Okay, I got you.
And then they were
stealing some kids' Ike and Mikes.
Mm-hmm. So they had filled his mouth with the sugar gel they give someone having a diabetic episode.
What'd you put in his mouth? Subway mayonnaise.
So there was like get to the side of the gangway or whatever. So we're standing on the side, but they have a full size firefighter stretcher in the thing. Man. So we're literally, and then the boys are face to face with this guy that's laying on the stretcher, right?
Foaming.
So then gel foaming.
So as
the foaming is how you know it's working.
As they pull, and I feel bad for the guy. But I know from my stepdad, you can have like hundreds of these diabetic episodes.
It's fine. Fine. Little embarrassment.
But he
this guy's getting free paste. He's getting a ride in the wheelchair. He's fine.
But he kept coming to and then passing back out.
Where's my candy? I want my candy.
Every 5 seconds, and they wouldn't like they were taking some time to fill out some paperwork or whatever.
Hit him with the head and knock him out.
And so the guy would come to and to be like start talking like whatever and then fall back out, like pass back out. So as they're wheeling him, like my sons are just standing there. And then all of a sudden, like he turns his head. He's like, right in Thomas' face. And then I felt like putting my hand there to shield his face.
No, let him see it. You'll be better for it. You'll be better for it. You know how I feel about this.
He needs to see.
You know how I feel about this.
I guess a guy having an episode.
The same way when I had tougher. Same way when I had massive diarrhea at the Current. I made my daughter look at me in the eyes while it happened. You got to let them know that that life is hard.
And so then that took a while. Then we flew to Atlanta, and then there was another delay where we were waiting.
Did you find out about him?
What, the guy?
Because I feel like your wife is the type of person where you guys land in Atlanta, and then she spends a good amount of time, because she's very caring, calling to find out what happened to the guy.
No, well, knowing my stepdad and how many episodes he had, he would have an episode fall off his three-wheeler and they'd be in the woods for a while, and then they give him sugar.
Just keeps
It would happen all the time.
What's the most dangerous place he ever had an episode?
Well, he had one, like, when he first started dating my mom. My mom didn't know. Like, he also...
They got to invent, like, a sugar tooth. Follow me with this. It's a good name, too. It's an old horse name. They need, like, a sugar tooth that is in your mouth that you can, like cyanide.
Like a suicide capsule.
Yeah, because, like, the getting to your pocket, getting to your bowl of candy, it just doesn't cut it. You need something where you can just, like, and bite it, and you're like, I got it, and I'm,
By the way, this is how much of a real man my stepdad was. Like, you would think, like, he's part of this family. He was, like, part of my family for, like, 12 years or whatever. You would think he had, like, full-blown diabetes, that he would constantly have episodes, is on insulin or whatever. You would think he'd have some conversation with the oldest son of the family, like, hey, if this ever happens to me, this is what you should do. Yeah, here's what you do. I could have never talk to me once about it.
Yeah. Never. The chat room's filled with people that deal with this in their families. People use peanut butter. People carry. They have insulin pumps. People candy necklace. All kinds of stuff.
Candy necklace.
He never told me, like, if this happens, you should do this. Call 911. It would have never had any conversation.
If I fall off my three-wheeler, shove my candy necklace.
He never told me nothing about it.
I've been looking for an excuse to wear a ring pop for years.
I think that would be a good look for you.
Yeah, sure.
I think that would be a good look for you.
Yeah. Then our flight got delayed.
Regarding your stepdad, is that real man or is that dumb as hell? Because, like, a real man should
talk about it.
A real man should be, like, prepared to, like, to defend the family. And when the coyotes come and you're having you go into a diabetic coma because you didn't keep track of your blood sugars.
You're thinking different type of real man. I'm thinking the real man that doesn't talk about any medical problem that he has or emotion or any, like,
my dad would go to the doctor with all of his medical work with him, and the doctor would be like, how you feeling? He'd be great, and he'd leave. And he's holding a whole file of why he's dying.
So anyway, it was, and then I have a couple of stories for the BDM show.
God. What did the boys say? Because this is they're also, like, they're very good children. They're good guys. They're like,
freaked out a little.
What was their take after?
Well, I was trying to explain the diabetes.
No, you got to use that. You got to be like, that's what happens to kids who aren't quiet on the plane.
They gave them poison.
That's a dad who went crazy from Bad Sons. You could use that one. That's a good. Look at
really good.
He went cuckoo crazy.
Dan, I've never been more proud of you. That's awesome.
Thank you. I learned it from you, dude.
Yeah.
Everything I said that would happen to me as a father, I was wrong and you were right. I've said that to you a million times. I'll continue to beat that drum.
So just because I'm talking about it, I'll tell the other story I wanted to tell for ACB
also because you're
Ross.
Contractually obliged to provide a certain
That's true. That was the agreement.
And then I want to talk to Daniel about his trip to Georgia because he went to the Van House.
Daniel went down to Georgia?
Danny went down to Georgia.
I was looking for an Indian house and I found it. Native American.
So we did this hike. Like, we went to Colorado, but we decided to drive over to Moab because we missed this hike last time that we all wanted to do called Fiery Furnace, right? And so it basically
sounds fun.
I laughed at the same thing too. That sounds awesome. Yeah, Fiery Furnace.
They only give
Let's go walk the ankle breaker. What do you say?
Ooh, I got the passes for Satan's butthole.
They only give out 75 passes a day. So they're hard to get, and apparently everybody knows it's like a sought after hike.
We tried here, and 3 computers failed miserably.
And so the last time we went to Moab in October, we didn't get to get the passes. So then Crystal tried a couple days in a row. Like Daniel, like Sam, we all were getting on there trying.
Andrea tried.
Crystal actually got them because they sell it instantly.
It was Sam's last day. She was like, yeah, I'm trying.
I did look. I
can't get into the website.
It was a minimal mouse move over there. I saw that.
So then we decided to drive over since it was only 3 hours from where we were at, and we decided to stop at some ski mountain called Powderhorn before that. And anyway, it worked out. So we get the passes for the hike, and we have to show up at the ranger station like at the beginning of Moab, because you have to take this they give you this video to watch, and they give you instruction because it's a protected area and there's only 75 people allowed in a day, and it's more of a serious hike of like, here's you once you're in there,
did they give you a
rules.
level on it, like this one, because we did a lot of hiking too, and they would give you a level. They'd be like, this is a 1 or a 1 to 3, or this is a strenuous, or this is a.
It's funny because if you go online, a lot of people online were saying like, oh, this is, be careful. They're warning like you can get lost in there. This is not a hike for beginners or whatever. Like the online, they try to
dumb old people.
Yeah, well, also I realize in a lot of online they're speaking to morbidly obese grannies.
Because they hike a lot. I saw tons of morbidly obese grannies. Yeah, because, not obese. That still works.
Because people will some lady will get in there that's in her 60s.
Saw that.
What?
Saw that in Georgia.
Yeah,
I got stories
that haven't worked out.
Oh, they get up the mountain, they can't get down.
Yes, yeah.
And I don't know. I want
to need to get rescued.
That's why I want to talk to park rangers. That's number one thing I came back from hiking was we got to get a park ranger on here, man, because they must rescue thousands of fat old people. Thousands.
People do not realize what their abilities are.
I didn't know you were going to talk about this. We didn't talk about this pre-hand.
Let's talk about
I saw 6 different ladies six. We counted them. 6 different ladies that went up a mountain. Every bigger lady that's older, like an old lady. These are old ladies. All of them in Crocs. And I'm like, you can't hike in that, man.
Yeah.
What you're attempting to do is impossible for even athletes.
I almost got kicked out of a park because it's spring break. So I took one of my kids paddling. And we went up and rented some canoes, and part of the canoe form you fill out is like your automobile in case you don't come back.
Yeah.
Then there's my gray Subaru sitting there. They know to go look for us.
Oh, he's dead in there.
So my kid's filling out his form next to me, and he's like, "Do I put same car as you?" I was like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to hide your body and drive away." And the lady who was renting the canoes got real serious about it for a minute.
They don't let you messing around.
No.
Yeah.
So
park rangers they also see the lowest of the low people.
Oh yeah, and they're
park
sad
rangers,
because people ruin the environment.
Yeah, I want to be one.
This guy was telling he's like, do you know? Like if this guy,
you're gonna go out there and F it up, aren't you?
He was mad.
I can tell you want to go out there and vape, don't you?
You're
gonna go out there and vape and look at the sunrise and maybe try to make some content for your OnlyFans. You get the hell out of my fiery furnace, boy.
This old man came in here and he's been like doing this for 30 years, so he's seen the worst of humanity ruin the environment, and
it's free or $5.
Right?
Everything's free or $5.
$10.
Yeah, $10.
Yeah. Like for an unbelievable. I mean, this
you're
place,
seeing magic.
Yeah, like you go to the parks, you spend $1,000 a day. Like this is insane.
I'm seeing the largest waterfall I've ever stood under in my entire life, and it was a $5 car ride for everybody.
What is the draw at Fiery Furnace? Because marketing-wise, I'm not in.
It's an area of it's a maze of
Indiana Jones tunnels, man.
Yeah, of fins. There's things called fins and arch. Like basically, the arches were prior fins, and fins are created by erosion from wind and.
Are we talking about those striated towers that the Roadrunner and the Coyote are always running by?
100%.
Those things? Okay, all right.
It looks like Radiator Springs.
And it's like a maze in there of these crazy formations that have all
tunnels
culminated.
And slides
and so the actual little 2-mile hike is through the most unbelievable terrain you've ever witnessed. That's 50 feet high pillars in some cases, boulders, and unbelievable washout hikes of. It's insane. You're looking around, every turn is you're taking
all
pictures
of that created by water flow?
Water, wind, and just erosion over a million years. Who knows?
Earth friction.
It's insane. But anyways,
I mean, the guy who just hiked it should probably know.
It's cool.
Was high. I told you he was vaping. You are not paying attention to that.
Virtually impossible to get the passes, by the way, because they sell out instantly every single day.
I just got one.
You can get them in the summer, the summer or the winter.
Fiery furnace.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But anyway, so the old man park ranger that came in, he was telling us stories I witnessed a mom and her daughter rip a cactus out of the ground.
That was a good rip. Rip a cactus
and then they
I've never been more mad my entire life.
And they picked it up and they said, "What's this?" And he's like,
I said it's a cactus, you dumb bitch.
like, that cactus has been growing there for 50 years.
His name was Thomas the cactus.
So he was just telling us how horrible humanity is, and he's also, there's this thing called biological crust that grows in the desert.
Oh yeah.
So
your wife talked about that on a video show. I believe.
Yeah.
It gets in their panties at times.
What's it good for? Can you smoke it?
So it's basically like this black mildew that grows on the sand.
Don't be touching my crust, boy.
And what it does, it holds the water. It basically turns sand into soil for the desert plants
so it's
to use
it's a necessary
to grow.
resource out there.
But the problem is it takes like 50 years for 1 inch of it to grow.
How easy is it to destroy?
Oh, I bleached a bunch of it.
If you step on it, it's dead, and it takes hundreds of years to grow back. Hundreds of years. It's not even a joke. 1 footstep, you've destroyed hundreds of years of biological crust that and you'll kill the plants around
you vapors get out there with your crocs and stomp on my crust.
So it's very important that no one steps on the biological crust, and you have to stay within the washouts,
stay on the path,
or rocks, and you don't get off the path. Don't step on the crust.
Take only pictures. Leave only footprints, not in the crust.
I like a little bit of ranch with my biological crust.
And
I like a flavored biological crust.
Sprinkle.
The Cajun is magnifique.
And then of course the ranger, the old curmudgeon ranger, was telling us that he's like, people step on it all the time.
They're
He's
stopping the crust.
He's like, they're taking selfies and walking backwards, stepping on the crust. So hundreds of years of biological crust ruined because you're stupid selfies.
I like this old man.
Yeah. So
he's great.
He's just telling us how
don't put the path through the crusty gum, old man.
You don't tell me.
And what's funny is that this area was they don't have any signs or any hey, don't step here. They want to leave it untouched.
Not even duck season, rabbit season, nothing like that.
In fact, the only thing in there that tells you where to go are these tiny little
markers,
arrows that are hidden in there, and part of it is getting lost in there and trying to find the arrows, which is really fun for the kids.
Yeah.
But you do get lost, and you get off on paths that are not supposed to be paths, but that's part of it. And they could easily put up signs to keep people in mind, but it ruins it.
Yeah.
Which I like that they're trying to maintain it being a pristine environment without human touch, but people are wandering around stepping on the crust, so the guy's yelling at you, don't step on the crust.
What do you want, a pristine environment or crust on the ground?
You can't have both.
Mm-hmm.
But most people, I could tell that they were serious about it, and if you wanted to hike this area, you're just not some Yahoo tourist that doesn't care about anything.
Every once in a while you'll get a few of those,
but you have to put so much effort in to get this ticket that it probably is self-selecting to people who give a damn.
It's probably a little bit on purpose too. If you're going to limit it, it's obviously limited so he can retain some crust.
And I looked around, and the other people are kind of families like us, other hikers or tourists that are into hiking.
Nerd families out there.
Yeah, into nature.
I don't mean that as a diss.
No,
you're into it.
Yeah, you're not just you're dropping your iPhone in the biological crust and then shuffling through it or whatever. So, but here's where it gets weird. So then the guy, he's like,
you want to see something? I got a back room filled with Nazi memorabilia.
He's like, the biggest problem we've had out here is human waste.
so here's a bag for you.
No, I'm serious. Sorry. No, he pulls out what looks like a little astronaut bag, right? He's like, if you need it, he's like, these are available at the front desk.
Say something.
He's like, you guys know if you can't hold it
first and you're feeling something first,
he's like,
grab a bag.
He's like,
maggot.
He's like, it's gotten so bad that the county has had to outlaw people pooping out here. And so I'm like, really?
That old man had to say the word pooping?
And he's like,
that's fantastic. Anytime you can get an old man to say the word pooping.
And so now
I am going to need a list of all the counties in America where it is still legal to poop in a national park, and I'm going to be a huge problem.
And he's like, you can get a bag, and then can you stamp my bag, and you can hang it up? These are all the bags that I've collected from the places you're allowed to poop in.
Some people go to a nice beach, take a little vial of sand with
patches,
them.
You get a patch.
So then
shells.
They hand out these little. They look like airplane vomit bags, but they're like ash.
Well, they are.
But they're poop bags.
They're all made by Uline.
The only difference is instead of a mouth hole, it's got a butthole.
Hold on, Jack. It's gonna get bad. Anyway, I was gonna make a firing joke. Anyway, they're like, if you need this bag, they have them at the front desk because you have to. If there's an emergency, you have to collect it and then take it out of here.
Well, it's
with
all
you.
smooth
You
rock,
cannot
too.
dig a hole because
it-
they're like the rain will and the wind will uncover it like a dead body or whatever.
That I don't believe. I don't believe that the wind and rain come in and they're like, hold on, is that a turd? I don't think that. I don't think that. I think that old man's lying. But I do think that a lot of people are pooping around there and they're like, we got to do something about it.
You want a nice, thick biological crust on the ground? Just let me spray around for a little bit. Like,
Hey,
give me.
they call me the Danny the Crust King.
So, but it bothered me the whole time I'm walking around. I'm like, how much of a problem could
What
this
about
be?
peeing? You're allowed to pee?
Yeah. They
So
said,
peeing on the rocks is fine.
yeah, but they don't want you leaving.
Did you guys
anything.
write your name in pee
No,
and then take a photo of it? Write van?
No.
VANN?
We
So this county commission meeting where they passed the law against pooping on the ground, they definitely had a conversation about like put the language in there where they can still pee.
and they have to hand out bags.
Subsection 2
Yes.
does say urination.
Because it got that bad. So then I started thinking, who goes into this place? No, because you know.
I go in there immediately following a chili dinner. Right afterwards.
Don't you know if you have a medical
No.
problem where you cannot hold
I have
that?
IBS.
right?
Every day is a medical day. Every day
So
is a
you
medical
can't
day.
you can't go in there. But
Yes,
you
I can.
No, but you like.
There's two things I
You're not allowed.
because I have severe crippling anxiety and IBS. I am not allowed to go into fiery furnace because I may have a problem, and I'm not allowed to pilot a helicopter.
And it's just weird that is the place where the last Sweet Tomatoes is. Like that
It's
should
right
not
there.
be right there.
I love sweet tomatoes.
So
I miss
good.
you, sweet tomatoes, and your tiny corn muffin.
I'll be right back.
Oh God, I love the little signs. But I always hated when I'd get a little sign at Sweet Tomatoes and it was crinkled. Give me a fresh cardboard sign.
Absolutely.
So
and a cookie, please.
Another thing that I was reading before, like on Reddit, they have a bunch of people that have done this, and they were giving like advice or whatever. So
I won't go anymore. Now they make you poop in a bag.
Yeah, I like the poop free.
by the way,
Damn government.
How do you do it in
You're
the
loading
bag?
it into the bag, right?
No,
Yeah,
you got to try to put it on the. It's like refueling an airplane midair.
Like, he didn't describe how
Yeah.
to.
Well,
Anyway.
He's not going to.
It's like blowing a balloon, but instead of
I think you got to open it wide open. Like
It's
the
small.
bag. I know, but you got to lay it flat like a piece of paper.
No, it doesn't open up.
But
It's
you
like-
know when people do that thing on Facebook where they're like, I was
Like
today
a
years
bag of
old
soup.
when
Yeah.
I found out you could take a little paper ketchup cup and unfold it to make a flat ketchup plate.
yeah.
So that's what you got to do with your poop bag. You got to unfold it and make a plate and then reassemble it when you're done.
And just dip some French fries in it.
Yeah.
So they in Reddit, this person was telling a story about they're like, last time I was hiking the fiery furnace, there was an old man in there that sprained his ankle, right?
I thought you were just saying something.
And then so they had to call rescue and
Yeah.
the rangers or whatever.
This is what I mean about the
Chippendale? They call it
Mimas.
Chippendale.
There were so many Mimas in the woods, in the mountains.
And it took, because it's such a maze in there, and you have to squeeze through the different whatever. It took 20 rescuers 6 hours to get this old man out. Like at
He's
least
probably sitting right at the beginning, right? They're always sitting right at the beginning.
And I'm like 20 rescuers,
Yeah.
6 hours, and
Because they're not loud enough. You pass them 100 times, they're laying there weak.
But over a sprained ankle, and then I was telling Crystal, I was like, there is no scenario unless I'm unconscious or having I'm not barely breathing anymore that I would let 20 people carry me out of this place. Like I'm hopping out of this. Like there's no way I'm going through like with a sprained ankle having 20 people carry me out on the backboard for 6 hours. Like, just get up and hop, old man.
Maybe they don't let you?
Of course they don't, because once they start the protocol, they're like, get on the backboard. You've seen it before. They don't let you get out, and they'd be like, so don't
and
even
then it's
start.
a production. Yes. Like you're like a Chilean miner or something, you know?
Like, just, if you are ever just like a sprained ankle or something not that serious, just hop out of there.
How long did it take you to walk through, just you and your kids in your bag of poop? How long did it take you to walk through it?
Did you bring the bag of poop back?
4.5 hours.
So if you got to go in there and carry out some dumb old man who broke his ankle, it's going to take you 6 or so hours. I would probably budget 8 in.
What I'm saying is, how did that guy let 20 people 6 hours carry him out? Just you say no, and
I'll die here.
No, you put your arm around someone's neck and then hop out of there. You know what I'm saying?
You need like a friend that's willing to do that.
Yes.
Would you beg me to be that friend? I couldn't. You're too big. Couldn't carry you out of there. I'd have to put you in one of those like collapsible wagons and try to pull you.
Do you realize what it would take for me to call a rescuer?
I would a splinter.
I know you've said this before.
I'd never do it.
On a boat.
I'd never do it.
You've said this before when I'm on your boat, and it's scary.
But what will happen to you is that you'll be in a position where you'll be like, "Don't call the rescue," but your ankle bone will be jutting out of your calf, and Crystal will call him for you, and you won't be able to jump up and hop out because you got a compound fracture.
Okay,
and you'll just have to sit there until it happens.
Okay, a compound fracture, I'm bleeding out, I'll call a rescuer. Yeah. But a sprained ankle or anything broken, you're walking out. This happened when we were skiing. There was like a lady and her kid on the top of the mountain, just like basically sprawled out on the side of a mountain or whatever.
And were they injured? Or?
So, well, I when I was snowboarding by, I stopped and, "Are you guys okay?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're just tired." And I'm like, "Okay." And they're like, "We called rescue to bring us down."
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, no.
People do that all the time.
I'm like, get up and walk.
Oh, you said that to him?
No,
my God.
No, of course not.
This guy changed on the trip.
I skied but I was like,
But you were judging them the whole way down the mountain.
You called rescue because you're tired?
Yeah.
Why'd you come out here?
This was an epidemic. When I was in
That's not what the rescue's there for, an emergency. Not because you're tired.
I think the rest of America disagrees. Because I was at Amicalola Falls. That's the first place we went to, Amicalola Falls in Georgia, State Park. We watched a kid. They built this place up. It's so nice. All the paths for people that like don't hike normally, and this is kind of a problem for like your larger Mimas that want to get up there. They have the beginning parts of it. They have ground up tires and like made this substance that makes like almost like a bouncy track.
Yeah, kind of what they do playgrounds with now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
like a rubber mulch.
Like a rubber mulch, but it doesn't move. It's like poured. It's really cool the way that they did it. And
rubber mulch. I don't even know her.
Yeah, they have like,
I've seen this before. It's like a bouncy, permanent.
Yeah.
It's not broken up. It's an actual pathway.
But it's for like safety, and it's for like old people, and there's like wheelchair ramps in the beginning. But then
it's comfortable too.
It's too comfortable. It's like Crocs. It's like Crocs without wearing Crocs.
Like Lake Eola Playground has the same surface now.
They're like, hard dirt is too rough for these people. Yeah. We need bouncy rubber.
And we watched a kid wearing white Crocs. I'm guessing that his Crocs plus the permanent like trail Croc, like the double bounce of it, he hurt his ankle.
No kidding.
And he fell over, and Andrea was just like, and the kid he's like, I can't go anymore. And the parents are like, we'll have to carry you down. He was like, carry you down the parking lot. We can see it.
Yeah, well, at least if you carry your own kid, don't call rescue and involve.
No, they went and got the ranger.
Oh, yeah. Then the ranger has to go through protocol. Then the next thing you know,
they're calling the EMT.
Yeah, the firefighters are out there.
It's not good.
I'm maybe 100 years old, but I'm going to say this sentence. You shouldn't be wearing Crocs to all these places. Like, you're climbing a mountain, tie your shoes.
I love Crocs, but they time and a place.
Yeah.
Time and a place.
But at
least engage sport mode.
What are they thinking? Like they go.
They're not.
Yeah.
They're not thinking.
They go out and then they are like walking up something.
We did a strenuous. We did one that was like harder than the one you took us on.
And then they sit down. They're like, call the rescue.
No, we had people that went up. We had a lady that followed us up who was, and I'm not saying this to be judgmental in any way, just to give you the picture. She was like I don't know, 3 times the size of me. Like, she was $3 at least. Smaller lady, older, maybe beginning 60s.
Yeah.
And she was trying real hard. Some places you had to grab a tree and then lift yourself up to get up there.
There's challenging hikes.
Yeah, and then some that like are so hard going down because if you just let yourself go, you're just going to roll down the hill.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this lady's never going to make it. Like, you're not. You're actually in a spot right now that Andrea pulled me aside and goes, I don't know if that lady is going to be able to make it down.
Yeah,
like,
that's a problem.
So
they were
steep.
The
and
Ranger
she weighs
was
$3, and dude, it's like steps that are as high as like this console. For me, I have to I couldn't do it. I don't
clamber up.
I don't have that stride.
Sure.
I was having to use I have to be Baby Wolverine to get up some of this stuff. It's not made for me, right? But this lady's like a little bit taller than me, no hips, and has me by 200 pounds.
Yeah.
And how's she going to get down? And then it dawned on me that these Rangers probably deal with this thousands.
Yeah. They get up
Thousands
there, and no
of
matter
times.
what the instruction is or warning, like, hey, this is moderately difficult hike with some steps. Be careful.
This was considered strenuous, they said. Strenuous.
And people listen to it, and they're like, all right, I haven't, done any sort of exercise in 30 years. And I don't...
Which is fine, but it's
I don't care. Yeah, but then what they get on these hikes and they get up there and then they can't get down,
dude.
and then they have to call rescue and they have to call the Rangers, and then
I just realized I'm on your side, Tom. My kid, long story short, we bought a car and we got burned. And he called me the other day. His car was breaking down. It was overheating and smoking.
Oh man!
And when I say smoking, like James Bond trying to hide from the bad guys smoking. And so he's like, "Should we call a tow truck?" And I was like, "No, you will drive it until it starts to overheat too bad. You'll pull over and we'll let it cool, and I'll be behind you." Just out of the smoke cloud, so that nobody hits you going into the smoke. And we limped that thing from Beaver King to my house. It took us probably 2 hours, but we limped it home.
We're never calling the Ranger. No Ranger for us.
Now, if you
put those Crocs back on, boy, we're going to drive this smoke machine home.
Yeah. Now, if you had to pay, then that's another thing, because it's like, all right, you pay for a service, like, all right, it's $200 for people to come rescue you, but it's a free service.
I think it's free. Yeah.
Because that's what the taxes pay for, or whatever.
That's what your $5 goes to.
It's got to be $5. Dude, 20 rescuers, 6 hours. I was like, how much money is that?
I paid $5 for that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Anyway, all right, let's take a break. Daniel went to the Van House in Georgia.
I got to tell you I've been doing some real world Native American genealogy digging for old Tom Van.
And I've always known about this house. In fact, when I was a kid, I thought that was my relatives.
I mean, could be.
And my relatives told me that they're like, the Van House, Georgia.
Could be.
Like, that's your great-great-grandfather.
Yeah, that man was
it's not.
Monster. But we'll talk about it.
All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Deborah's here from Fairville Omega Store.
Yes.
How you doing, Deborah?
I'm great.
Oh, wait, my Fairville song. Where'd it go? Oh, I lost it. I deleted it.
Really?
That's all right. We can make another one in 12 seconds.
Yeah, I can make another one in 12 seconds if you give me enough time.
That's the world we live in now.
Do you want me to do that?
Yeah.
And they updated it now.
Yes.
You knew they updated the software is now better than it's ever been.
Yeah.
Just for making. I don't know. Say I wasn't prepared for this. This is going to be like 14 seconds. I'm going to need to be able to pull this off.
Deborah, I don't know if you know this, but AI is taking all of our jobs.
Yeah, it's coming. So we're trying to
hanging
enjoy
on by
it.
a thread, man.
Well, I don't think there'll ever be AI dilders.
Yeah, there's a lot of tech built into that stuff now, man.
But what about that implant?
But built in is one thing, but I mean taking the place of.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, okay, hold on. Follow me here.
No, you haven't. You
like,
haven't said that once in 2024.
They're doing those implants now. I imagine in the future, those implants will be good enough where you go on your phone and you're like, 2 orgasms, please.
We just order up 2 orgasms.
You hit the button and it's like, yeah.
And you're like, oh, there's one. I'll save the other one for later. Like, what?
Come on. You got to have all the senses, though, not just dialing it up.
Yeah.
That's what we say, Deborah.
We're
old school.
Right to orgasm.
I'm just saying the kids in the future, they're going to be like, 3 orgasms, please. And
but she's trying to get you to understand that it's not just running for the orgasm. I mean, there's so many other senses at play here. Whether it's a gentle touch, it's a smell, it's a light massage, a tickle.
I only want the
sometimes the best touch is the absence of touch. It's like negative shading within a tattoo.
Okay, all
like
right.
negative shading within a tattoo.
That's very deep.
It's like being a good percussionist or drummer. The reason I'm a good drummer and better than most in the city, you want to know why? I don't have the chops. But I know when not to play.
Okay, all right. Oh,
You got to know when to get out of the
that
way. If
sounds
you can
like
get out of the way, you got to know when to
BS
get
to
in the
me.
way, and you got to know when to get out of the way.
Okay, all right. So,
Little Danny Lover.
5 orgasms, please. I was like, I hit my daily limit.
He's like, okay. All right.
Okay.
Deborah is here.
I
Deborah
am.
does have an agenda. Let's try to stay on topic.
All right.
Well, this is spring. We've all been on vacation, having little spring activities. And so I'm theming today around spring. Some new lingerie is in stock. I did mine in a nice little basket because it is, the time of Easter and renewal and all kinds of things. So I made a little custom basket to bring in today. But, whether you want to make a naughty Easter basket or you just want to freshen up the wardrobe, the lingerie, the toys, we got you covered.
You know what you should have done? And let's see if you're my real. Let's see if you're my real business partner.
Can we write it down?
We're going to write it down. Hold on. Tear that piece of paper down.
Okay, hold on. Here
Tear
we
that
go.
piece of paper down.
Yeah, here we go.
Give me my piece, and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
get
yeah.
your. We're going to do a magic trick.
Okay,
This
yeah.
is called. This is
All
called. You should be in business together. The magic trick.
All right. All right. I'm writing it down right here.
Here we go.
Right here.
All right. Now fold yours up. Fold yours up.
Okay. All right.
Mine's folded, and then I've written it right behind the fold there.
Okay.
You take mine.
Okay.
I take yours. This
Okay.
is a trick. And ready
Okay.
on the count of 3, we're going to read them. Oh. Oh my stars!
No reading. They're stunned in
Now,
I'm
silence.
stunned.
Now this goes together, kind of.
It goes together like peanut butter and jelly.
That's
all right,
scary.
So I thought he was going to write "put a hole in the basket."
Yeah, that's what Daniel wrote. Hole in the basket.
And Tom took. I don't even know if I want to read this, but Tom wrote "black grass."
Well, you know how they had the Easter grass. So it was like make the Easter grass black in the naughty basket.
Okay, black grass.
It goes along with the hole in the
I mean,
basket.
I guess it does. I guess.
A hole in the basket, black grass.
Write that down.
I'll work
Hold
on
on.
that.
Write down "hole in the basket"
And black grass.
Wait a minute. Are you hole in the basket? Wait, I'm hole in the basket, and you're black grass.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be like, I'm black grass. Sorry, Deborah.
Yeah.
No, that's all right.
Yeah, you expect
I do. So yeah, I brought a few fun things here. Let's start it with the apparel because that's kind of what sets our stores up for the next season, and we destroy everything here.
Oh, I love the yellow. I'm a yellow. Like that's one of my favorite colors is yellow.
Not everybody thinks that they can wear yellow, but I'm here to tell you we have some really beautiful spring colors, and I love this yellow. As soon as I walked in this store, this is the one that kind of spoke to me.
I like yellow on black and Latina women.
Oh, yeah. The difference.
Yeah. I like a good pop of color.
Well, and this is by Escante, one of our big partners, in the center of the mega store in Orlando. It just features this brand, and it's gorgeous. And it's a one piece, but yet, it covers just enough and
Ooh, it's
not
like
a lot.
A little cheeky on the bottom. Yeah. It covers just what you.
Yeah, pulls just right over your
This
behind.
is how my wife would say. This favors what it needs to favor and allows you to savor what you need to flavor.
Black grass.
Thank you, Black Grass. I like this one. This is a little underwire action.
Again, it's a one piece, just like that one is, but this one, has a little underwire cup action. This is from Ooh La La Cherie.
Ooh La La Cherie. That's your favorite company.
By the way less expensive than I thought. In a day and age.
I've been beating that drum for forever. I've been telling people if you go
right?
there, and then you're going to get somebody to walk you around and show you where the good stuff is. You get a good shopping experience for not a ton of money.
Yeah.
And so this is in a deep green, but it's got a really nice coral and pink embellishment.
Green is the color this year. I don't know if you know that.
And it's a two-piece. It comes with a panty and everything.
And Casey Musgraves would say that jade green is the color of the year. Is a jade green.
That's
I've been
pretty
buying jade green bracelets for all of my fellow Casey Musgrave fans and sending them across the nation.
Nice.
I haven't been doing that.
I go to dinner or even lunch with my family, and there's this local pizza place in Colorado.
What does this have to do with lovely? Okay.
It has to do with price. I'm bitching about prices of things.
And I go there. I'm like, what do the kids want? Oh, 2 cheese pizzas, please. And then I'm like, I'll take a meat pizza and then another cheese. So 3 cheese and a meat, and then with some fountain
How
drinks.
many pizzas
Oh, you
do
want
you
to
need?
cook?
That's a lot of pizza,
That's a lot of
man.
pizza.
No, I'm slices.
Person. He dropped it.
Okay.
Slices.
That's all right.
No, this has to do with price. And then the
price of the slice.
And the kids want a cookie. I'm like, you could just. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to treat myself. I'll have an IPA. You know, $87. And then I'm like, $87.
Yeah.
I can get 2 lingerie for that. And this will last
coming
forever.
from Black Grass. In case you're wondering, Black Grass says you can get 2 lingeries for the price of 2 slices of cheese pizza.
I think that's a compliment.
Yeah,
and
it's definitely
thank
a
you very
compliment.
much.
It's definitely a compliment.
So, and I even threw a little stretchy number from Leg Avenue in my
Yes.
basket here, and you know it's right up your alley.
I'm
man.
a fan of the stretchy bodysuits. Leg Avenue
Yes.
they fit every size. They're good for the hippie girls.
And these are really pretty colors. It's a gradient of yellow and pink. Gorgeous.
I'm a fan.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
What do you think of this, Black Grass? What do you think?
I like that a
Yeah,
lot.
I bet you do.
That's a whole.
It is cheeky.
Don't turn
It's
it around.
very
Don't turn it
cheeky in
around.
the back.
Beyonce.
Yeah.
Don't turn it around. This ain't Texas. This ain't old.
Wow.
Right?
Get out on the floor. Don't be a bitch now. Get out on the floor now. What, isn't that how it goes?
But that's cool, right? And it's really great value. If you're
yeah.
trying to put together a little something,
Dude, you can
little
for
collection.
Is it? I think I'm accurate in saying I could come there with $100.
Oh, yeah.
And do just fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just fine.
Yeah. I mean, you can
And
get
I'm
a
even
lot.
low balling it because what can you do now for $100?
Yeah, I mean,
That's an experience.
Yeah,
right there. You know,
well,
you get
yeah,
the little
I mean-
bodysuit, get a little toy. I mean,
Yeah.
and a little lube. You're under $100.
Yeah,
You can do
absolutely
it.
under
you
100.
can do it.
that's way better than 3 cheese slices and an IPA.
IPA. Yeah. I have to agree.
What else do we have here?
Since I'm in this soul spring
I see
element,
something that you don't need to go to it yet, but I see something that I think is going to revolutionize. I think I see the auto blow for ladies.
well, we'll go there in just a minute.
Okay, yeah, I'm like,
we'll
holy
save that
smokes.
for a moment.
Yeah, please.
Again, spring themed. We got little impact toys, little paddles, and it's so cute. This is from Cookie, and it's a little paddle with a daisy sewn on one end. It's on the business end, and it's pink and black. Just really fun, really playful. Again, you can kind of update your toy.
Are you a spanker?
Toy bag.
You're a spanker kind of guy?
Well,
I'd love to get into it with Andrea because one of the areas that I enjoy the most of my wife, who I love, is her derriere.
Yeah.
I'm a fan
I knew
of
that.
You know I'm a fan of her derriere.
talk about it a lot.
I like it. It's it's strong.
It's
strong.
Put your hands away.
Yeah, because I'm little. I'm a little guy.
Yeah.
It's like getting on. It's like, you know what it's like? It's like He-Man getting on Cringer. Crinjar? What was his name? Cringer?
Here's what I don't understand.
Battle Cat?
Okay, this goes back to wanting the app, the O app.
You wanted 4 orgasms.
Well, it's just I don't understand. Like, okay, I understand the spanking part.
I did that for Sam.
So I understand like the spanking.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, what's next? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, where's
What
the
does
transition? You know how you're
What do you
doing.
mean?
Where's
You
the
put your paddle
transition?
down and you
you're-
ride Cringer. You battle cat into battle.
Well, you know how you're okay. Talk radio, right? So you're
really?
doing a topic, and then you transition into another topic.
Oh, so you
with
want a spanker and you want to be like, how is that spanking? Where do you fare on pit bulls and abortion? We'll be right back. Is that what you want to do?
No.
So you spanker and then you have to knee-jerk. You have to go evergreen topics. You have to be pit bulls, abortion, legalization of marijuana.
No.
I feel like this could be a good transition.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you,
okay.
Deborah.
I'm going to save you here.
Thank God
Sorry,
we have a
thank you.
professional here.
Yeah, so this is the Lola vibe from New Sensuelle, and it's from their little newbie line. And I thought it looked like a caterpillar, so that's why I brought it for spring.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that cute,
yeah,
right?
I can definitely.
So
It
it's
does look
just-
like a caterpillar.
Yeah, but it's really powerful and super soft, and a really fun.
Different kind of cat. Hey,
Yeah.
comedy.
It's not a dual stimulating massager. It's just
Yeah,
a single, but it's got a really
this
fun
is just
curve
your
to it.
standard.
Yep.
Okay, all right.
But it is rechargeable.
Yeah, they go now,
right?
man. They
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
I remember when we first met, if you were bringing stuff like this in, I mean, pretty easy to hold.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you
They're powerful.
got to like check it before you grab it because the thing could go crazy.
And it's called a newbie. That doesn't seem very introductory, but yet it's really soft and it's flexible and it's as powerful as you want it to be.
Yeah, nothing too crazy.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Yep. And since I'm in the topic of spring, I did, of course, bring a couple rabbits and the whole.
Oh, that's the
season.
one. That's the one you threw out your sunroof, right?
No,
Didn't you throw a sea ring out of your sunroof?
No,
or something?
no.
That's how you know he parties.
No.
Because if you grew a
out of my
mustache,
window.
if you grew a mustache and told people you threw a sea ring out of your sunroof, people go, "He's a Florida man."
It was a cheapo gag gift that Crystal got me. It wasn't from Fairville.
Then why'd you put it on?
Yeah.
If it was a gag gift, why'd you put it on?
Well, she pressured me
because there were gag gifts. All the things
and I was
found,
in college,
like my dad's edible underwear, that was a gag gift. My mom never put that on. I didn't find one hair in those candy underwear. Not even one.
Those things have been around for so long.
Why'd you look at it?
I had to. I remember.
Why'd you inspect
Deborah, I remember.
You wanted to know.
You had to unroll them.
Yeah.
Because they were laid out on a paper. You'll notice they were laid out on a paper like a fruit roll-up.
Yeah.
It's like a fruit roll-up that you wear.
Yep.
We should do a whole show wearing edible
I
underwear.
could absolutely bring in all kinds of just edible apparel.
Let's do it. And do a fashion show. Edible fashion show, Tom and Dan live stream.
Does it melt?
Oh, it melts.
You get hot enough, it's going to melt.
Yeah, it melts. If we rubbed our candy necklaces together, they'd explode.
I'll get you one of those candy pouches. You'll be great.
I love it. I'd love to put my full member in a candy pouch. And that's
it could be
freedom.
A calendar, man.
That's, you know what? That's freedom. When two men can just walk around their studio with no women around wearing candy pouches, that's real podcasting freedom.
Yeah. Well, let's just say black grass doesn't look very good in a candy pouch. I'm sorry.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, God. Okay, so I did bring a sea ring, speaking of that. And this one's by Playboy. So we carry some. They have a really wonderful line of product.
They're pivoting.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they had
to. And so this is the Bunny Buzzer. So it's rechargeable. And it's super quiet. Like you can't hear it. It's on. There it goes.
Yeah, you can barely.
Really stretchy, right? Very soft.
Yeah. Now, is there? How do I say this? Are there these for like? What if you need a belt?
A whole like.
What if you need
the whole package?
Yeah. What if you need a belt?
Yeah.
They make them in a double ring, so there's a ring that goes around the whole.
It's like
the
twisting
boys.
a rubber band twice around your money wad.
Kind of, one goes around the boys, and the other goes around.
It's like a drug dealer wraps a rubber band around his money wad.
Yeah.
And it will hold it firmly in place.
Okay. All right. I've always wondered that because you have brought these over before. And
I almost brought a double one.
I look at some and I look at them and I'm like, I don't know if that's for me. Yeah, I may not.
There's different sizes. And that's kind of what's cool about us. We are a large enough company and large enough stores that we carry a variety of them, so we can find the one that you feel like is going to work best for you.
Yeah, because it is. Yeah, it is. It's intimate. It is like like you shop for your clothing for hours. Why are you going to go there and just grab something off of the internet and just
and assume that it's going to work for you?
Personally, I think that's insane because like you spend longer to shop for shoes.
Yeah.
I want to put this in my nose like Dune.
But
then I want to give it back to you.
Poor Deborah's having to scrub your boogers off of it.
Oh, no, I don't want to do that.
Okay, what else we got here?
And, I brought you guys chocolate last time I was here, some new little singles, but we do have one that's called the Big Orgasm Bar. So you could put that in a basket or in a little gift.
It's a big aphrodisiac chocolate?
Yep. So you just break it into pieces. There's multiple doses in that bar. You don't have to eat the whole bar.
That's going to be the tile of my app. This is going to be...
That's right. There it is.
Press it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know that chocolate you brought in here, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, I had no problem with that whatsoever. Like, that was good. But the guys later were saying I was, like, flustered.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is going to increase your blood flow. So if you get a little flush, you need to recognize
I did get
that.
a little flush. I was like, hey, now.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So, we're carrying multiple types of chocolates, aphrodisiac chocolates and enhancements. So you definitely want to come check that out, too. And always read the ingredients. If you're going to try any of those stimulants, you want to make sure that you are not taking something already that might conflict with that.
Yeah,
so we like to
especially if
just
you're-
advise people about that because it is something additional you're putting in your system. You know?
don't want black grass to come in. This guy's on everything.
right.
We were just talking about this. Black grass is
I can't even listen to it.
Yeah. It's
But that means I could take anything.
I don't know about that.
If you're on everything, you can take anything. Everybody knows that.
Oh, wow.
I'll write that down.
Yeah. And since it's springtime, we're talking about renewal, cleaning house. If you have not changed out your lubricant in like at least 6 months, you might want to do that. Just get a fresh bottle. It doesn't cost that much. And, if you had it open and shut, you're letting air into it.
You're shaming a lot of our listeners right now.
Just do it.
I know for a fact that our listeners do not change their lube. Here's how I know. Here's how I know. Because they listen to me. And I don't have any lube. I have some packets that you gave me. I have that.
That's good.
Well, that is good. You see the expiration date. But I'm also the type of guy that I'll get a thing of shampoo and I'll leave it in my shower until it gets a ring of black around the bottom of it. Just think about that. That's what you're doing with your lube when you let it sit there for. Some people probably had their lube for 7 years.
Yeah.
Let's just say my wife's bedside drawer.
Don't do that. Black grass, I would advise against this.
There may be a big jumbo thing of lube in there since Ruben Studdard won American Idol.
The Velvet Teddy Bear, Ruben Studdard.
I haven't heard that name in a minute.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm just brought a bottle to remind us that it is a good idea to come in and get a fresh one and throw the other one out.
That's wise. And
We
also
want
clean
you
your
to be
toys.
healthy, man.
They have the toy cleaner.
So many toy
What's
cleaners.
the one you got? But the foaming one from, is it Joy?
We have
or?
System Joe's has
System
a
Joe.
foaming one,
System
and
Joe.
so does Wicked Sensual Care.
Yeah.
We carry both of those, plus
need
other
that.
brands as well. But really important to clean them well before and after.
Just like your guns. If you treated them like you treated your guns, Florida,
Right?
if you treated it like you treated your guns, we'd be just fine.
That's right. And of course, if you are going to make a basket of any kind or just want to have some fun, I did bring my Tenga eggs because what's interesting. And if
we lost Butler because of it.
Oh yeah,
guy's jack crazy.
He's never the same after that.
Changed
I saw him bring the eggs.
Changed him as a man.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it really showed him a different side of life.
But if you come to the stores and you do find the eggs, just know that the designs on the packaging is reflective of what the pattern is on the inside of the egg. So that's the feel you're going to get.
Yeah, you could get
pattern.
like squid, barracuda, tentacle,
wind,
regular, boring, old lady.
I like to envision a real man opening the Tenga egg and then reading the instructions because he doesn't understand.
It says here, all right, it says here, the moisten, all right. Okay, what is it? What do I got here? I got me the squid. All right, let's turn it around here. Oh, it's got a little package of lube. Let me just open that up. It's like a package of mustard where you get from a rope coach.
Nice.
Put that on there. And I'm not going to do the rest of it.
And, if you really want to get crazy with it, buy some plastic eggs. And we got little tiny things like nipple nibblers. The little
nipple nibblers.
Yeah,
what is that?
Yeah. So this is actually Sexalicious Kisses.
Sexalicious Kisses.
Yeah.
Hello, baby. I'm Sexalicious Kisses.
So it's a tingly lip balm. Basically, you can put on a variety of body products or body areas, and this one happens to be watermelon. Feel free to open it if you'd like to. But we have different varieties, flavors.
If I put this on my lips, will you lick them off? Like in Scared Straight? Let's do the Scared Straight. Let's reenact the kid from Scared Straight, and you lick the nipple nibblers off my lips.
I wish Scared Straight was still on.
I know. It's a better time.
I don't think the society nowadays can handle it.
Two shows I want still on. Scared Straight, Parking Wars. Yeah. Parking Wars was so good. I can't open this. It's really well packaged. It's got one of those
little
splice things, and my hands are too greasy. See if you can open it.
Let me see.
I got greasy
What have you been
hands.
doing?
I don't know.
My hands are broken. I can't even.
His hands are broken. Black Grass doesn't even have hands. He's in a wheelchair. Okay, we'll have to pretend that we tried that.
And of course, I did bring other wonderful themed items, bunny tails.
Okay. The bunny tail.
Yeah, you're a bunny tail man, right?
And
Can you?
What if you saw that in my jeans? Just when I came to work.
Like a skull ring?
Yeah. You're like, what is that, a gun? You're like, oh, no.
No, it's not. You think I'm going to, he's got a gun.
I'm just saying, tucked into my butt ass.
You know what I would think it was, honestly? Toilet paper.
Okay,
my.
Does that make you hate me?
That much of a bunchy ball?
Yeah, I would think you had a problem. I would think you had a problem and you were trying to fix it. He's had problems. He had a problem.
No, come on. Don't talk about my problems.
At the bank. The bank problem.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was a bad one. You can never go back to the bank.
Yeah. There was a nurse in there looking at my account. I was like, you don't need...
There's a lot of toilet paper
I'm like, just leave the one old man in there. You don't need the nurse in there. Like, I'm not going to be abused by the old man, so it just making it awkward when she's in there looking at my bank account and when it's so low. Oh, sorry.
All right. What else we got?
I just want to skip to this because I know you saw it and you're very interested in it.
I just know it's going to sell like crazy because it's like why in fact, when I saw you walk in with it, I'm like, this is the product that somebody should have invented so long ago that other people thought they did, but they really didn't because you needed a company that knows what they're doing to do it.
So, Womanizer, which you guys love, love, right?
They're great.
They created a handheld water wand, yes, for lack of a better term, a handheld shower wand, and it is designed in such a way to provide pleasure much more effectively than just something that you grab off the shelf at Home Depot, right?
Yeah. I mean, you
Keller Williams.
No, that's Keller Williams. No, it's not paid. It's a realtor, right? Keller Williams is a realtor.
Well, what's
Keller Williams? You were thinking Sherwin and Williams for paid. Oh my God, Blackgrass is gone crazy.
What's the K one? Isn't there a?
Well, there's
Moen and
hold on.
Kohler.
Kohler.
That's what I was thinking of.
Or like, what's the one? You know what I like? I don't like any of the ones you can have in your house. I like it when I go to the Amway and I get a good old American Standard.
Right. Just like the toilet. Right?
Big old American, because it says America on it. I'm like, American Standard. Flush it down.
So this just is a much more effective tool. If you're going to use something, let's just do it, right?
And those things are already expensive, so I'm wondering where this price point comes in because...
This is not inexpensive, but like how much is it?
Right. Well,
this is going to be on your shower for a couple years, right?
Yeah.
So
and also, it's easier to hide because it's your shower head.
And it is actually warranted.
That's dope.
Yeah. So... That's just
it's nice.
Yeah.
It's
easy to switch out with your current product. It has like it actually is going to give you a really nice shower, and then it has like a pleasure world that's built into it, a pleasure jet. To focus the pressure.
I'm telling you right now, because it's so easy to hide.
And you can
just put it back.
Yeah, you can change the intensity. That's what's really cool about it, too.
Yeah, but if I'm a guest in your house and I see this in the shower...
You'd never notice. Blackgrass would never notice that.
But I would be looking at it, but like, this is an odd-looking shower.
No, I don't think you would.
I don't think so either.
You think rich. You think I'm fancy.
You're right. Yeah. I would think you're fancy. I'd be like, this is some future shower head.
You'd be like, you think you're better than me? I'm going to buy a fancy shower head.
So it's specifically designed for the pleasure.
Yeah, that is correct. So somebody should have done this a long time ago, and it made me so happy.
This is so good. And Womanizer's products are so good. I own some myself, and I'll say it's about the same price as what I just replaced my shower head. Maybe $20 more.
Yeah.
Maybe 20.
So, Deborah, this is going to be an awkward conversation.
When aren't they?
He took his glasses off. What are you doing?
So there's a thing that I've seen in the world that I didn't know existed.
Daniel, is it where they sit in the tub with it? Yeah. I did know. We shouldn't be business partners because any perverted thought he thinks of is beamed into my brain. I'm already there.
And then I guess you sit in the tub and you lay down on your back, and then you use the the down faucet.
You use the pressure of the faucet.
Yeah. And then that's a thing that I guess people have been using for years, but it's like nothing has been modified at all. It's just the regular bathtub faucet, the standard.
I also think, and this is just my opinion,
there's got to be a better way.
There is, but I also think that is also position of performance for the photos that you are digesting.
Correct.
I think Deborah's been in this long enough to understand that if a woman is alone and wants to do that, she's not going to do her makeup and prop herself under the phone. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't work like that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Blackgrass. I'm really hurting his feelings.
You're ruining the whole experience now. Yeah. So
Yeah, that is a long time coming. That should have been made a very long time ago.
Exactly.
And who's going to copy it? Everybody's going to copy it.
Yeah, but just the thought, being more thoughtful with that, the design, and making it truly a pleasure device.
Quite honestly, making it safer, right? Because it's engineered by people that engineer those products for those areas. So
Yeah, absolutely. From one of the premier companies in the world, really.
Yeah.
So that's wonderful.
What else you got?
And I did bring, I have to bring at least one rabbit with me today. So this is just so cute. Like, non-threatening, external use, big dual rabbit ears.
I like
Please
these.
work.
Big dual ears.
I know that. I know that guy.
So
Now all my friends with big
Not
ears are going to think I'm talking. Oh, it's fine.
that's fine. Yeah.
That's fine. I'll check it out anyway.
So this is perfect, because there's so many technically rabbit or Easter themed stuff.
This one's even in the right color. It's super fancy. Who
Yeah,
makes
very
this one?
soft. Actually, this is Love to Love.
Love to Love, yeah.
a newer brand for us. Still really great. I just thought that it was charged.
Yeah.
But you can actually bend the ears. They're
To make it, it's
to
like,
fit whatever you're going to use it for.
because everybody's, different sizes too.
Very ergonomic. And, tons of fun stuff, tons of accessories. You know how I love. It's still festival season, guys. Don't forget that, too. There's spring
I've
festivals.
never worn pasties.
Well, I assume that. Why would you have worn pasties?
I don't know. I've always
there
thought, at least once, I got to try them, right?
I guess in your
I have
career,
a lot of hair on my
I was gonna
nipples.
say, you might
though.
want to shave down.
I did. I shaved. I used the Manscaped thing to shave them down.
Yeah.
But then Maisie caught me again, and I get long. Mine I get
that too.
I get long when they grow like a rhino's horn.
And you know how mad I am that I have nipple hair, but I can't grow a beard.
I know.
Where I'm supposed. I'm
that means your nipples are more man than your face.
I'm like, why? I can't even grow a beard, but I have long nipple hair. Yeah, it's like why
some
did
of
that
my
happen?
nipple
You're
hairs
robbed.
or some of my nipple hairs, I think the longest one would be right at 6 inches long. Like, they're very long.
You have to trim every now and then. Just
I
to
do,
kind of keep it
I'm so short and
control.
have such a weird body style that when I sit down, I can sit on my nipple hair. That's how small my abdomen is.
It looks
I
like
have a small abdomen,
both-
like an insect.
It looks like both my nipples crushed spiders.
Ooh, tie them together. Tie the hairs together. Tie the hairs together, and then have your sons chop through the hair. Karate chop through the hair. All right.
Until you put this on and take it off, it'd probably remove all that.
Yeah, that probably
You wouldn't have
would.
an issue anymore. But yeah, just a quick reminder, too, that there are festivals still coming out in the spring, lots of music festivals. So just keep that in mind because we carry that stuff year round.
There you go.
So cool stuff.
Yeah, festival season has, new festivals popping up all the time. I just saw some people at Ultra who were fighting out the rain and still had their outfits on. It doesn't matter. Rain or shine, man, they go.
So, obviously, the Fairvilla Megastore in OBT, the location in Sanford, the location on the coast, the location Secrets Hideaway, the location at International Drive, the location in Palatka, the location in Key West.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you nailed it.
Yeah.
I think you
You
got
did
them all.
very good.
Well done.
Very
That's the
good.
best you've ever done.
And we're doing a lot more in-store events now too. We're rolling in our education into these mini events at all locations. So the best thing to do is just kind of check in with us online, and we'll be happy to share that information with everyone.
You got
Awesome. It's fairvilla.com. Deborah,
Indeed.
thanks so much for
Yeah,
coming by.
always
We
good
appreciate
seeing
it.
you.
Good to see you
Thanks
too.
for being such a good sport while we
Always,
act stupid.
Blackgrass.
Yeah, well, he's Blackgrass. I forgot mine. I'm holding.
You're holding the-
I'm holding the basket. Holding the basket.
All right. We will be right back. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. If you want to get tickets for our ACT 10-year anniversary live show,
Yes, sir.
It's going to be at Sanford at the Ritz Theater, the Wayne Dench Performing Arts Theater in Sanford. The after party's at Tuffy's Music Box and Tuffy's Bottle Shop and
There's
Lounge.
going to be a live band there. We'll have some drink specials for you. It's very close to the venue, so when you're enjoying the Ritz Theater, you can just it is a hop, skip, and a jump. I think we timed it, and it's like about 4-minute walk.
Yeah, it's right there.
It's like right there.
We got a stand up with Ross McCoy, Vince Taylor, and Ken Miller.
Still don't understand how we got Ross and Vince and Ken Miller, but I'm very excited to see those guys. Ken Miller is one of my favorite stand-ups.
Yeah.
I don't even have to tell you, I love Ross, and getting to see Vince, like I've only seen Vince do comedy one time. So I'm really excited about seeing all of those guys. They're really, really top tier local comedians.
And then we're doing our ACT show live, and that's going to be 2 hours, and we got some special guests coming.
We do.
And then after that, we leave over to Tuffy's, and everybody who buys a tickets are only $10. You'll get a free drink at Tuffy's and a gift to commemorate 10 years.
You're bringing
of
back
ACT.
the gift bags.
Yeah, well, not a bag, just one gift.
You're going to let people down. If we don't do bags, you're going to let people down. Is it going to be like, what is it, like, it's got to be something.
Well, it's going to be an ACT gift that you get at the door.
And I put my gift into what?
It comes from the box where we got from China. And then
you hand me a Chinese gift.
Yeah.
And I put it in my pocket?
Yeah, you just put it in your pocket. Well, I don't care what you do with it.
Oh, man.
You throw it away for all I care.
iHeart must be doing budget cuts if you're cutting out the goddamn bags. I want a bag.
All right, sorry.
Do you want to do it?
Some weird
Should we do it? All right, let's do it. Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. Dad really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Weird Job Wednesday brought to you by ModernPI.com. Modern Plumbing Industries. Use the promo code Tom and Dan for 10% off.
Had a guy reach out to me yesterday about a plumbing problem that he had. And he's like, hey, you guys got a plumber? And I'm like, yes, sir, we do. Modern PI. Hit him up.
So we've got Charles in studio. How you doing, Charles?
Hey, guys. What's going on?
Buddy? How are you?
So, Charles, what is your weird job?
My weird job is I worked on an oil rig in Alabama for about 4 years.
Oh,
that's a long time.
Yeah.
4. I didn't expect to hear 4 years. Wow, dude. That is some. I've always wanted to. Roughneck? Is that the correct term?
That is correct. Roughneck. They don't want to be called rednecks or roughnecks.
Roughnecks. There
That's
you
correct.
go. All right.
So, working on an oil rig, is that some sort of contracted deal? Because you got to live on the thing, right?
No. Well, in Alabama, they have mobile oil rigs.
Okay.
What you're talking about is in Texas, where you live out there and you live in like a trailer for a certain amount of time. You get contracted for. It's a little different, a little harder work. We're on a mobile one. We mainly deal in the methane gas. We pull it off the coal seams. So you basically, what you do is you pull up.
See what I do? I make people laugh, Tom.
Yes, that is correct.
See what I do?
Well,
I just wanted to freeze frame that moment in time. Is like that. I want Melissa to freeze frame that. I'm a smile maker, man. I'm a smile maker.
That is correct.
Thank you,
Oh,
Charles.
are you still roughneck if you're drilling for gas?
Stand up and punch him right in the face. Roughneck fight. Knock his teeth out. Charles, get up. Charles, Mrs. Black Grass.
No. Well, what it is that it's just the difference is that you have to pull the gas off the coal seams or they explode. So whenever you hear about a mine exploding or something, it's because somebody didn't do their job correctly and pull the gas off the coal seam.
Okay.
So
I've seen There Will Be Blood. It blows your kid and makes him deaf.
That
and
has
hates
happened.
you after.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. You're right. Yeah.
And then you're like, I can't take this anymore. You give them away. And then you're like, I'm abandoning my boy.
You're screaming it. Your hair is flopping in your face.
So I had a friend of mine. The reason why I got out of it was because I had a friend of mine get 90% of his body burned because a pipe split.
You want to make some more jokes?
Spark.
You want to make some more jokes now?
Burned him
You want to
pretty
make some more
good.
Kate Middleton jokes there? You want to walk those back? You want to walk those back, TMZ? You heartless son of a bitch.
Sorry, Charles.
No, you're good. No, I got it. So yeah, it was a rough job, and most people think because I'm a big guy, I'm 6'5", and they think, oh, you worked on an oil rig. But honestly, most of the guys were your size, Tom. There was the guys
pointing at me. I was like, they're my size.
No.
That's Willy Wonka stuff. Man. Willy Wonka out there getting oil.
Oh, it's chocolate. It's not oil.
I'm Willy Wonka, and I own the Dallas Cowboys.
Where your Oompa Loompas are black. I'm sorry. Charles laughed at it.
Did you just say Oompa Loompas are black?
No, I'm saying in your oil.
Right. Well, they're covered with oil.
Yeah.
Yes, sure.
Yeah. So when you do leave, you are covered in grease and oil, even though there's not actual oil what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because of the coal,
Dirty work.
turns your skin all sorts of weird colors. Anyways.
So how'd you get this job?
So I was actually driving truck long haul. My wife, Danielle, she's in the YouTube chat with you guys a lot.
What's up, Danielle?
Shout out, baby.
That's how you do it. You'd never give your wife a shout out. This guy's going to come home and get it. He's going to get himself.
Hopefully.
Yeah, see? Just that's all it takes is one little compliment. Even Roughneck did it.
He didn't compliment her. He just said, what's up?
Charles, yeah, but that's all it takes. If your wife was there, he'd be like, whoa.
So she decided that she didn't want me driving long haul trucking because I was gone for 6 months at a time, which was terrible.
I don't want them lot lizards getting at my man.
Well, no, I don't think it was that. I think it was just that she just felt like that she was alone, and we just got married. So
you hear what he's saying?
It was like it was great money, but she didn't care about that. She just wanted me. So her father lives in Alabama, and he knew some people. I was supposed to drive a dump truck, and somehow I got talked into working on this oil rig, and I started that, and it was
amazing. Does sound cooler than dump truck, though.
It was harder work than I've ever done before in my whole life, and I've built houses, I've done lots of things, but it was the most rewarding job because you knew what you were doing every single day, and when you were done, you felt accomplished because you completed something.
All right, so let's talk about the life on an actual rig, right? So, from what I've seen on TV,
what time does it start?
Let's talk about what do you do day to day?
You get to the job at about 4:30. You leave, you load up your truck, you leave, you drive about an hour and a half out to the job site about 5 a.m. and you get there about 6:30. You start working about 7 because, you have to get your coffee and you get going.
I know what that means. Smoke a joint? Or you're not allowed to do that?
Well,
drug test you?
I will tell they do. I was actually the clean one on the rig. We always had to have one clean one.
Sure.
And everybody else was usually either they drink or they did smoke weed, which wasn't the big deal
for me. This is the job for me.
Oh, yeah. And pain pills.
Yeah.
Come on, Charles.
Before it was popular.
We are the oil rig of Orlando. We like all those things.
Yeah.
This is the pod rig. We should call this place the pod rig.
Back in 2010, everybody at the oil rig was on pain pills.
Oh, back in 2010, even you and I were on them, I think.
Yeah, I was there in 2008. So
your peak pain pills.
It was back when it was
blue meanies everywhere.
They were, it was crazy. But there was an accident, so you had to have somebody clean to do the piss test for everybody. And then you paid them for doing that for them, and I was that guy. So I would always make once a month about extra $200.
Because they pay you for it.
Yeah, exactly. So
this is one of my favorite weird jobs, Ronnie. A rider off the jump at the beginning of the day.
Okay, so when you get to you're drilling down.
Yes.
So it's the same drilling process as you're drilling for oil. It's just,
that's correct.
Okay, so from what I know, it's a lot of just putting sections of drill tubing on the drill, the drills at the end, some diamond huge thing that's
I've seen those.
Three bits on it.
Yeah.
And
that's what the villains ride when they drive into a...
Yeah, it's a mole man.
The hole's already dug when we get there. So what we do is we go down and we break the baffle balls with the thing I was telling you with the 3 bits.
No, you're really breaking my baffle balls. Yeah,
I'm breaking your baffle balls. That's where the term baffle comes from, is this
Call them mobiles.
They're like clay. Anyways.
I'm sorry, Tom and I
No, you're good.
We'll get it together here, Charles. I'm sorry, man. Okay, call them mole balls.
Old balls. So they're old balls. We go down there, we break them because they're giving us a hard time. So we got to go break their balls. And then
don't do jokes, sir.
Each time you see the water, it comes out with the water, which is what people complain about when you see in the news that the water is polluted or whatever.
Yeah.
And anyway, so you release the water to let the gas up because that's what holds the gas down is the water.
Oh, so water is actually what's keeping what you need to get to down.
Exactly.
And then, so how do you...
Once you release the water, then it pumps the gas out in the water. And that's what you see.
Can
those
you
big,
smell it?
huge
Like the whole time?
Oh, yeah.
Or is it just like, I'm standing in gas?
No, well, you can smell it, but you don't really, it's not like, there's no actual gas because the water's holding it.
Gotcha.
So it's in the water itself.
Is there a danger at that point when you're getting there, you're putting the tubing on there while you're in this methane area, there's the oil and everything?
Because one spark.
Yeah,
one spark.
Is it a one spark scenario?
Yes. That's how my friend
But there's so much metal and there's so much
static electricity, right?
Correct.
Well, that's why you have to use rubber hinges and stuff like that instead of metal stuff, so it doesn't spark. So you have a big, huge tongs that wrap around the pipe that loosen, tighten it, and then inside of there they have the rubbers. So the rubbers are what basically protects it from sparking. So how my friend got burned is that the pipe split. It was a bad piece of pipe. It split. When it split, it sparked, and then it blew everybody up. He was the closest to the well when it happened.
So are you in danger of blowing up at all times?
All times.
So you're working hard as hell for 8 hours a day, and the whole time you're
12 hours a day.
12 hours a day. At any time, you're like, we could all be burned alive by methane gas and an explosion. At any point in time, like some spark could cause an eruption.
That is correct.
Fire.
Wow. That's a lot to carry every day while you're sipping that first coffee when you're talking about getting the coffee in you.
Yeah. Do you just get used to the danger?
You just forget about it, honestly. At first you're scared, you know what I mean? Because you hear about the stories from all the other guys, and they run most people off within the first week or so. And then the people that stick around, like I said, it's a rewarding job. It pays pretty good.
How do they treat the guys that they run them off? Are they nice to them and all? Are they like, you pussy, get the hell? Like, are they like?
Well, if you're not from Alabama, you're treated way different than if you are from Alabama. I promise.
What about Florida? Like
they don't like Florida people. They don't like
Florida.
Georgia people. They don't like
Georgia's right there.
Yeah, I thought we were all Southern friends.
They don't like from people from Cleveland, Ohio, California, definitely
New Jersey,
Washington.
The whole time I lived there for 4 years, I was called a Yankee the whole entire time, and I said I'm from Florida / Pennsylvania. I mean, I was born in
Pennsylvania.
Born in Pennsylvania, grew up in Florida. I've been here since '84.
Well, Florida, you're not a Yankee. We're the furthest out.
They consider Florida people Yankees.
Even if we were born here by Florida people?
Even if you're born, if you don't have a redneck accent,
okay, all right,
then you're a Yankee. I mean, and they treat you differently.
And you definitely don't have a Yankee accent.
No,
I don't even think you have an accent. So
the friends I did have there, they were all from different places, like Texas and Georgia and that kind of stuff, and they were the cool ones. But the people from Alabama were not cool.
Interesting.
Maybe
so. It's like being in a prison.
Were you wearing your football jersey and gold chain? That may be a reason.
You don't have a gold chain when you live in Alabama.
No, exactly.
You have a pair of work boots, Justins. I don't know if you ever heard of those.
Yeah.
You don't even wear sneakers up there. You don't get caught in some Crocs. You'd probably not make it out.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But they
come here, Crocs.
And
yes, sir.
When they say that Alabama,
I will say, if you're doing roughneck work in Crocs, you're the
roughest neck.
Because with
soft neck.
Like if you have safety boots on, you're considered what do you keep your feet safe? I'm wearing Crocs. Like
I know how to do that. I'm so confident.
Well, I should be considered more brave than the guy with steel toe work
make
boots.
that argument while they're beating your legs off.
No, I'm just saying, like I'm wearing Crocs and doing this hard ass job. Like at any moment, something could crush my feet.
White Crocs.
Like I'm considered more brave than the steel toe boot guy, right?
What was the hardest job there? Because I've seen these videos of guys that are like switching out pieces or switching out drill bits or something.
Yep.
And one guy,
and
he whips the chain around.
No, I'm talking about the one where the guy, like it's two guys and they have this device or something and they're moving it, and then one guy let go of it and it just falls.
Yes, those are called tongs.
And then the guy was like, "Well, now it's ruined."
No, you go right down there with a special tool they have to get it, and it is a real pain in the butt.
But it puts you back time-wise, right?
And a lot of people get fired for doing that.
That's what the guy got fired.
Okay.
He had this thing, and he dropped so it's tongs?
Yeah, they're tongs, and what you're dropping in there is the set. So each time the pipe comes up, it's wrapped around these things that go up into the derrick, and they're holding on to it. And you don't unlatch that until you drop your set, and then that holds the pipe. You put the tongs on, you loosen it or tighten it.
Yeah,
however
that's
way
what they
you're
were
going.
doing, yeah.
And then some people, like on the oil rigs, they use a chain. They whip the chain around, and that holds it. I had tongs where it's had the same idea as a chain, but it has a top and bottom that bites onto the collar, and then you loosen and you let it. That's how you do it.
Yeah, and
so it's a little bit different. So oil is bigger. Gas is everything's a little bit smaller, but everything you touch is so heavy. When I say it's heavy, it's like you pick up a normal pipe wrench. I know you guys, you have a plumbing people you go through, but if you pick up a regular pipe wrench, you're like, oh, this is pretty. This is like 100 times that heavy. Everything that you pick up, like even a little wrench is heavier.
Like
than
reinforced or carbon steel.
Exactly.
It's
all reinforced steel. Everything that's made out of.
But again, if that landed on my Crocs,
your foot is toast.
break my toe.
Yeah,
But if it lands on the steel-toe boot guy, he's fine.
You might be okay with the Crocs. What size are you
taking
wearing?
more chances.
I feel like mine are pretty durable.
I can't imagine what you guys would talk about on the top of the the oil rig, and how bad it must sound to the outside.
You guys like Haribo sour snakes?
It's just probably lots of.
What did we talk about? So most of the time we talked about.
Do you sleep in the same room or?
No. You get, like I said, you get there like on this one because it's a mobile rig. In the other ones, they do all share what they call a bunkhouse, and it's like a trailer pretty much. It's a real crappy bare bones trailer. That's what they have to sleep in. But you know all this signing up for it.
I've seen Yellowstone. I know what a bunkhouse is.
Don't be branded me. Don't be branded
You play poker in there all the time.
Yeah.
Then some barrel racing girls come.
Then Beth is taking a bath in a horse trough. The horses drink out of that. You're going to get that all over your undercarriage.
Unfortunately, no women out there. That's for sure.
Has there ever been a female roughneck?
Not that I've ever met. Not where I worked at in Alabama. There's no way they would do it.
Yeah, because
they like Crocs.
Well, no, not even that. Let's just say the guys on the oil rig can't control themselves.
Yeah, they're animals.
Charles knows.
Yeah. Did you work with some people?
Yeah, you would,
Charles, did you work with some people that because I mean, you're a big guy, you can carry yourself. Yeah. But you obviously worked with some people that you were looking at them, you're like, this dude is nuts, right? Like some crazy folks.
Very, very much. The people overall in Alabama are crazy. Like they don't
painting a good picture of Alabama.
They don't like they're set in their ways. I mean, I lived in a little town when I was there called Cottondale. I mean,
that they're open-minded.
It's the epicenter of free thinking.
Put it like this: my youngest son, was born when we lived there, and I wouldn't. And we messed with him about being born there, and we told him, I said, when you're time for college, because he's getting ready to that point.
Nice.
I said, don't ask to go there. You're not going to Alabama.
Mine's going to Alabama.
I hated. I wouldn't let my kid around those people. They're just terrible.
Wow,
people.
you're writing off the whole state. I like that. I like a man that knows what he hates and he draws the line. He's like, I hate the entire state of Alabama, and I think I support you with this.
Like
Charles.
I said, it was the people, not the state. You go to a restaurant there and they're like, "Here's your food," and they're not nice. It's just
I thought Southern hospitality.
There was zero there.
You heard it here, not Alabama. Here's your food.
So Charles, is the whole day just putting on different sections of pipe and until the drill bit has a problem, then you have to pull it all back up, change the drill bit, put it all back down over and over?
Yes, that is correct. Like I said, you have to bust out those clay balls each time, and each time you break one, you have to pull all the pipe back out. Get this stuff out that comes out. Once you see it all released, the water comes up. Then you have to go back in and start all over again, tripping the pipes in and out of the hole.
Do you at least get the gratification of striking some gas or? Oh yeah, okay.
The water is it would be considered the oil of it, if that's what you're saying. Like let there would be blood when the oil shot out. Well, water shoots out just like that. So
And
once
that's how
you
you
see,
know.
once that's how you know you broke the ball is that you see the water shoot out.
And does everybody celebrate? Does the foreman come out?
Well, that's
Pull out your penises!
no, that's when everyone's mad because we
do
go
a
back to
ceremony.
work.
Oh.
So once you break you have to go back because then you're tripping. There's 3,000 foot of pipe in and out of back out of the ground to reset to do another one. But when it's blowing, when you get to the bottom of the hole, they have to blow bottom. That's clearing all the stuff out of
We're blowing bottom,
the preparations that they did for the gas to come out of the coal seam. So once they clean all that out by blowing the water back through, then you have to go back to work. So what we would do is we would sit there and we'd catfish all day long when we were blowing bottom. And I had a cool manager, shout out to Roger. I don't know if he knows about you guys or not, but he would say, y'all just take your time. We'd go out there, on 12 hours sitting there catfishing the whole time. Then we'd have a fish fry at the end of the day. We'd go home.
Now this sounds pretty awesome.
Okay, well, so you're
Fish
catching
fried with
catfish
the
where? In the
bros.
local river?
Yeah, but most of the time it was near like a body of water, most of these wells, because they needed the water for the job.
Okay.
And that's why a lot of people, when they say, oh, well, the water comes out and they have gas burning off of it or whatever, and they see the water on fire, is because somebody didn't do their job right. So when when I told you they're blowing it, that blew into somebody's water supply because they have a well. So
when they you see the TikTok videos of them turning their faucet on and lighting their water on fire, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's poison!"
Yeah,
it's
if
just
somebody
gas in
told
there.
me, though,
That is correct.
If somebody told me that, like, if I went home right now and I turned on my water and then I lit it and fire was going out, I'd be like, "This is freaking awesome." I'd keep it. I'd be like,
I want the
I'd
fire
have like a
water
party.
all the time.
I'd be like, I'd have a party on Saturday. I'd invite Charles. I'd invite you and your wife and your boys over. We'd all get in there. I'd be lighting the fire. You know, go to the bathroom, light the toilet. We'd be lighting all my water on fire because, like I don't know.
It's awesome.
It's whenever I see water on fire, like even when Mike Aiello does a show at a Disney or at Universal or anything,
when fire
and
comes out of the water,
and then
it's
he'll
the
have
best.
he'll have Characters, Universal characters flying, and then the water will be on fire because it needs to be for the scene. And I'm like, did it again. Look at that. I love water on fire.
So Charles, you're describing, besides from the catfish fishing
Tough
and
times.
fry,
Tough times.
but it's sounds like grueling work all day, 12 hours. You're just the same thing, hard ass manual labor in a tough
Monotonous.
environment. Do they let you play music? Is there like
no,
something?
you have to hear every sound because if something's not right, the driller, the guy that's running the machine, has to be able to hear what's going on, because if something doesn't clamp right, something doesn't sit right, then you have accidents like what you were talking about before, where the pipe drops down and then you have to go in and get it.
And so someone could mess
That's
up.
no deal. You're not messing with my chamillionaire.
So,
I have that on the tune.
Is everybody kind of responsible for each other in the fact that if someone messes up, it could hurt the whole crew?
Yeah, that is correct. That's how accidents. When I told you before, there was accidents. Is most of the time the accidents were because of somebody not paying attention or something like that, and
That's
someone
you.
getting hurt.
Well, it
I think
seems.
that's you.
Does that cause like a camaraderie, like a band of brothers almost, where it's like you're all watch each other's back because you're all responsible for each other's safety?
Exactly. That's why we have the fish fry. We go to the what they call the pusher's house. They have a pusher, driller, and you have 2 floor hands and a derrick hand. You have a total of 6 people on the job site at all times. So the pusher is the guy who's running the job. He's the foreman.
I'm your mama, I'm your daddy, I'm that N-word in the alley. I'm your pusher man.
And then you have your driller. And
You don't know that song?
He's the one who's controlling the machine, the rig. And then you have the floor hand, which that's what I was. And I'm the one controlling the pipe going in and out. And then you have the derrick hand. Now, derrick hand is the scariest job. I tried to do it. It was about $5 more an hour. I wasn't doing it. Because you have to hang out. You have a safety rope, the harness that you're hooked to. And you have to hang out in front of as the pipe's shooting up with a big, huge block that's carrying the pipe. You have to shoot up and slap the arm shut to grab another piece of pipe. And you have to do all that within seconds, like boom, 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 and get out of the way.
Because you're in danger of that thing falling on you,
That is correct.
Okay, so at any point after you do this hundreds of times a day, one time wrong could kill you.
That 1 second, one time. That's correct.
It's like that guy that
crazy.
that very famous skydiver who had been skydiving all day, and then the last jump of the day, he jumped out without a chute.
Yeah, you just
And it
make
was just
one
because
mental mistake.
It was just it was just an absence of thought. That's it.
So, Charles, let's talk about one of my favorite things in life that I find the most funny.
Let me guess. There's going to be money.
Especially in these kind of industries where it's a bunch of hard work and like there's a team of people that are super close, and that is bullying the greenhorn.
Do they call them greenhorn still? Or?
Yeah, that is correct.
So, because whether it's Deadliest Catch or the oil rig,
they come eat an eyeball, right? You got to eat the eyeball.
These guys, they are not.
You're pulling your first pot up. You pull the pot up, and they're like, "You did it! Eat this eyeball. We're gonna pee on your head."
So, I mean, it's worse.
Yeah.
I mean, they're taking the greenhorns family picture out and desecrating it.
Not quite there.
We put your mama's photo in the urinal.
I mean, so let's talk about some of the things you've done to the greenhorns.
So most of the time it was just cleaning stuff, because when we're, like I told you, when we're all out fishing, having a good time, somebody's got to stay at the rig. So usually it was the greenhorn. We'd make him clean with a toothbrush, stuff that he didn't really have to do.
Okay.
But he had no idea. So we like, listen, you have to do it this way, even though it wasn't true. We have him wiping the rig down that I just told you.
Nicer than the people on the TV show. That makes sense, right? Because it is television.
You're handing him a rag. You're like, go wipe the whole rig down. The thing is completely muddy. And then you laugh as you catfish.
Yeah, that is correct. We did that quite a few times, actually.
What's the worst, other than, obviously, and my apologies, other than your friend who got really injured? You've seen some pretty...
So the worst
you've seen
thing...
hands get chopped off or anything?
The worst thing I ever saw...
Break an Oxycontin in his blood. Watch him freak out.
The worst thing I saw was tubing come out of the hole. So the hole was overpressured with gas. No idea until you break those clay balls.
Sure.
And the pipe that we were just putting in the ground decides to come out. So without anything pulling it or anything. So the gas is so pressure that it flies out of the top of it. You can see these videos on YouTube of this happening. And it happened, and it covered the whole entire area, which is probably about a quarter of a mile around the whole area, plus the pit, all that stuff. And it comes flying out of the top of the derrick and starts shooting down like little missiles, just...
So all the pipes shoot out of the hole that you were drilling in.
That we were just standing next to.
And then come raining down all around. I mean, how heavy are these pipes?
They probably, each pipe is about 40 foot long. So I want to say they weigh about, 500 pounds.
So 40 foot long,
dude.
500
it's like rebar flying at you.
But,
yes.
I mean, falling from the sky.
But bigger.
Is everybody just running inside, trying to get away from it? Like, what do you do?
You try to get to somewhere that usually underneath the rig itself, because it's made out of solid steel, is the safest place because of the fact that the pipes can't bust through the steel. Well, at least we think that. I mean, that's what we did, was we got underneath the rig itself. And we were okay because the pipes came down. The truck we were in that we drove to the job was completely, it had pipes sticking out of it. It was just completely demolished.
They could have been your body with a pipe sticking out of it, right?
That is correct.
God, man.
And I'll give you each a guess at how much I made while I was doing
I was about to ask you, because this...
Now, the chat room has been weighing in, trying to wing around what they think. They haven't given any numbers, but they think you made a good deal of money.
Well, that's what I guess the stereotype is when you do like roughneck jobs like that. There's like some like contractors get paid in Afghanistan, some big lump sum.
That's what I want to do after this.
So, what was your pay?
You guys want to take a guess, or you want me to tell you?
Okay, well, I'm going to go.
What year?
It was 2008 was the last year I worked there.
Okay, yeah. That was a different time where 50 grand was considered a lot in 2008. Yeah, like I remember 2008 looking at 50 grand like if I made that.
I have a number. I was going to say 125.
No, Tom got it on the first try.
No, it was 50 grand?
50 grand. That's what I made. I worked 12 hours a day. 5 days a week, sometimes on weekends. I made 50 grand for 3 years. I made 150 total for the 3.5 years.
I feel like you should have made more money.
And there was no lodging with that.
No, you got paid drive time from the where you clock. Well, you didn't really clock in.
You're blowing everyone's mind. They thought you made way more than that. I'll give you some of the other guesses. We had 100K. We had 350K.
That's what we should have made for how dangerous it was.
Yeah, we had another 100K. We have a lot of oh hell no's that are coming through now.
Was it because it's an Alabama impoverished area and there's
50 grand there is like 200 grand here probably.
Yeah.
So I mean, I lived in one of the nicest houses in the area.
So you're doing fine.
I loved it. I thought I was rich at the time.
Yeah,
I had a brand new car.
Sure.
Well, not a car. You don't have a car there. You have to have a truck.
Right.
Did well for myself, and I had the best of everything. I had my kids there.
Well done,
everything.
Man. That's awesome.
It was a great experience. Like I said, I would go back and do that job over building houses. I helped build Baldwin Park, believe it or not.
Oh, no way.
Before I got into truck, I left construction and went into trucking because there was more money in it. I was making $10 an hour building these $1 million houses out here when this was the naval base.
Yeah, in 05.
And I was making $10 an hour doing that. So I was like, well, let me get into trucking because they're starting people out at, $40,000, $50,000 a year trucking. And then, so that's why I went into that. And then, like I said, my wife was like, she runs the house. So she
wants to spend some time.
I know that is Charles.
We have a lot in common there, Tom.
We all know about that.
Why do they think they get to run the house if we're making all the money and putting our lives on the line, Charles?
Here's why. Here's what she tells me. If Mama's not happy, nobody's happy.
Yeah. Happy wife, happy life.
When did that happen?
I don't know.
I don't know when that happened.
I don't think your grandpa lived like that.
I don't remember my parents working like that.
There was a time when you got home from your roughneck job, and then your wife
will bathe you in a bath like a cowboy.
Yeah, she saw the hard work that you put in.
She'd be bandaging your cuts and bruises.
Yeah.
Oh my God, those pipes hit your truck. I'm so sorry.
Like brushing the kid's hair
that's
to
when I
present
had
to
to
you.
leave after that, Dan.
What's that?
When that happened, that's when she made me leave doing that.
I had a feeling
because she was like, "No,
you don't come home and tell the story of the pipes destroying the truck you were driving in." And then she's like, "All right, see you tomorrow."
But it was on the news up there. I mean, you could look up the clips, so you can see it. It was pretty
Well, I'm
bad.
glad you're okay, man.
Well, yeah, me too.
Obviously.
There had to have been one guy from the rig that ran over and then just fell over on the floor and been like, I got hit by a pipe, the old.
Ow.
Yeah.
No, because they were all on drugs. They couldn't do that.
Oh, yeah.
You're right.
That's what they call the pain pill paradox.
Well,
it makes working so good, but
Can't get hurt.
But you can't get that insurance money.
Yeah, they were on pain pills or Adderall. There was one of those.
Oh, I know that guy. I've been throwing pipes at him all day.
I was the regular guy that didn't do nothing. I had to keep up with these guys.
Get to work.
Well, you just described two awesome drugs.
They are pretty good.
You want to be awake and no pain.
Those are the two best ones. Adderall in the morning, pain pill at night.
But that's the kind of stuff most people have to do a job like that. People don't understand when you're in manual labor.
Physical,
It's called getting your head right. I learned that.
Your body is in constant pain 24/7. I don't do that kind of work anymore, mainly because I came down with the illness, back when COVID came out. I was working in a warehouse at a hot tub factory and
that sounds like a good job.
That was a great job. Let me tell you, that was a great job. But I decided that
you do everything. You dabble in everything Tom loves, by the way. Drugs and hot tubs. I'm kidding.
I ran a forklift, but no one did.
He loves those too.
No one did drugs there that I know of.
You may be Bizarro Tom.
You have so many similarities. Yeah, like seriously, the things that come out of his mouth, I'm like, yes, forklift, pain pills, yes.
If that was a Drunky the Bear jersey,
we'd have a hug off.
I didn't do those things, Dan. I know. People around me did.
Right. You didn't do those things. Yeah, you were the clean guy.
Unfortunately, I always got that label. Anyways, so I got diagnosed with this pulmonary sarcoidosis.
Oh man,
I know it sounds made up, but it's not. It's terrible. Half my lung doesn't work.
Oh my God, man, I'm sorry.
And so, it's hard and it's calcified. I guess is what they said. I actually have to go get a CT next week about it. But
did you get it from the rig and all that? I mean, I'm sure they're pouring chemicals.
Oh my God.
Your roughneck boss is like, get in there, Charles.
Yeah, I don't care if you have a calcified lung.
It would have happened a lot sooner, I think, if it was from that. From what I was told, my sister-in-law, my wife's sister, her husband is a fancy doctor in Louisiana, and he said they'd done a lot of testing, and a lot of it came from the COVID shot. That people that had a marker for the autoimmune shouldn't have taken the shot. They should have did more testing with it because the reaction from the shot to this has brought out things that normally wouldn't have happened or would have happened in the future.
The chat room
I'm writing this down.
The chat room saying that's what Bernie Mac had. pulmonary. Pardon me.
Sarcoidosis.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. That's what happened to Bernie Mac.
Yeah, so I was on oxygen 24/7
My God,
for
man.
a year, and I just recently got lowered down to where I only have to have it after a certain point. So once I start getting tired or sleepy or whatever, then I have to put it on because that's when I know I'm not breathing at the levels I should be.
Yeah.
And so I do it overnight, and then sometimes during the day.
Charles,
Yeah.
have you heard what they're teaching the kids in school?
I have.
Well, how much time we got?
We have 5 minutes.
Okay, vaccines and that. We'll do a podcast another time, Charles. It'll be big in
Well,
Alabama.
my former medical marijuana doctor, before I found Dr. Shinlate, you know what she was telling me? She was telling me the kids were shedding COVID in schools, getting on her kids.
Well, Charles, what do you do now?
Now I'm actually not doing anything. I'm just getting my disability from my job.
Nice.
Yes, I knew it.
Well, he's done
That's
enough.
the life.
He's done enough.
But my wife is now. I was the breadwinner. She didn't have to work when I
Sure.
lived in Alabama. I took care of everything. Well, she raised our kids. We didn't believe in daycare. She didn't want them in there. She didn't trust daycare. She was just one of those people. So until they got into kindergarten, we weren't putting them in that. So once they decided that, she works at a pediatric office in Altamont now. But so she's the breadwinner now. So now I really have to listen to her.
Yeah, that's where you got the problem. Although you can make the argument that you're getting a lot for nothing.
Well, Andrea's kind of doing the same thing.
That makes her mad.
You say, well, you're not getting that. You got to go work for your money. I'm getting sweet government cheese.
Well, no, I get it from the company, not the government.
Oh,
But-
yeah.
Nice.
Let's talk about a normal disability day.
I want
Me too. I want it too.
Charles, how do you get me and Tom on disability? Maybe I'll get
You got to fill out paperwork. Your wife's perfect for it. Like, all you have to do is fill out paperwork.
Okay.
And eventually.
What's going to be my disability?
The problem is they keep denying
Can
you.
I do my hip?
That is correct.
Yeah,
Can I do my hips?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's the key. They deny you, but the person that's has perseverance to keep filling it out. And finally, they're like, "Fine, take it."
The problem with disability, though, is you get big and fat like me. That's the
No,
biggest
I
thing.
think you look
That's
great.
what I want.
Like-
Yeah, I think you look fine.
You guys are
fit your
thin,
frame.
you
No,
lost weight.
thin, I'm not
well,
thin.
how
I'm this
stressed
big,
we are.
I'm not
big
thin.
chungus looking
No,
like
you fit your
EJ.
frame.
All right.
You fit your frame. You're fine.
But your
You're
life
fine.
is so much better, Charles. Like, we're stressed out all the time.
Yeah, we're running this. We're watching our friends.
Yeah.
Corporate. You get a corporate execution.
You know how mad I was trying to make the calendar today? We had to go get new dry erase markers.
And we don't even know how to write. This guy was in there.
You can't
He
even read
ruined
it.
3 dry erase markers this morning because, he was writing on it while it was still wet with the cleaner, so it neutralized the markers instantly. Then we had to throw them in the trash, and then we walk over there, and then we bought permanent markers. Came back and we wrote all over it. And then I'm like, oh my god, we wrote permanent markers. So then to go back over, I looked it up on the internet. You can use if you use dry erase marker on permanent marker, it'll take it off. So then I had to use the dry erase markers to remove the permanent marker. Now we're good. We're back to square one.
You guys are missing Sam, that's all.
I didn't say that. I think we're just fine, Charles. Whose team are you on?
That's way worse than pipes.
Hey, well,
we
Sam,
described.
I'm on Team Sam
Me
because she
too.
reached out to me.
I love me some
Well,
Sam.
what she
So-
reached out to you for what?
Oh my god, what's she use the pain pills?
No.
He's the clean guy. You got it all wrong. He's the clean pea guy.
No, she hit me up when I was in the chat.
Oh, she's trying to get disability.
She's trying to steal our pain pills from Charles.
Well, when you guys get a letter,
Hey, if you're not here, you don't get pain pills. We split up 2 ways, not 3 ways.
if you guys get a letter from the state saying that she's on disability, I don't know nothing about that. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, we knew it.
Wait a minute. Charles is getting Sam on disability.
Yeah. You know, it's hard to prove back problems. But I knew that.
I have back problems.
Yeah, because they take the
Yeah,
X-ray
they're like,
and
you
they're
know
like,
what?
"Ah."
You know what I learned? L4, L3, L4, same thing. There's no differences in it. L3, L4, L5, L1.
They're all smushed.
Yeah. And then you're like, you just gotta, be good at pretending you're in pain, which I've been good at.
But I'm so,
it's the easiest acting.
I'm in so much pain at all times that all I do is make jokes. So the people are like, look at how happy he is.
yeah.
You
But
do
that's good.
seem a lot happier in person than you do when you're on the actual podcast.
Who, me or Tom?
Both of y'all. Tom's really cool.
Oh, yeah, that's what you think, Charles.
No, I mean,
Wait till he leaves, he starts abusing me like Diddy does. He sexually abuses me like Diddy. He's the Diddy of Castleberry Diddy, is what I've been calling. I hope your house gets raided by the feds and they find out what you're really doing in that shack.
What was he doing? What was Diddy doing, Charles?
He's taking them across state lines and giving the ladies to his friends.
Have you guys ever seen the movie 8 Mile?
Yeah, I've
P.
seen it.
Diddy is the Papa Doc of the real life Papa Doc. That's who he is to me. He's a fake person. He's come from a rich family.
Okay.
He's always had money. It was all bought in.
I think Charles is our new entertainment correspondent.
He what he does is he went in and he decided, hey, I'm going to get this guy, which was Biggie, and I'm going to ride off of his coattails because he really had no talent.
True.
And so
Not a
Biggie's the
rapper.
only one with the talent. All he's ever done is he was good at finding talent. He should be a talent agent. He shouldn't have never been a rapper. He really, really shouldn't.
No.
Everything he's done has
He's
been
a
bought and paid
facilitator.
for.
He's not even a producer.
Exactly.
He just connects dots.
He's not a Dr. Dre, that's for sure.
No. Charles,
But,
you know what? I appreciate your take on that. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Diddy is, to me, he was always a
nothing.
clown
Yeah.
when he was parachute pants. And I tell him that to his face. So.
Tom's going to return his parachute pants now. I saw the sadness in his eyes.
Well, Charles, thanks
Dude,
so
you
much
were
for
great.
coming in.
What a great
All right.
talker, man.
Thank
You did a
you.
great job, too. You explained everything that people wanted to know, and we really appreciate you coming in, man. That
I
was
appreciate
really
you
cool.
guys letting me, man. I've been fans of
Anytime.
yours for years, and whoever's not listening to you guys are fools. I mean,
Oh, there's tons. There's
those radio stuff that they listen to during the
Millions.
morning, afternoons, you guys are the best. of
Oh,
the
you know
three.
what I got to do? Once I'm on
They
the-
want Charles the Roughneck's entertainment moment. Charles the Roughneck's entertainment moments.
Once I'm on disability, I'll do some pressure washing work for,
Don't do that.
for cash.
I won't do
no,
that.
No.
Mm-mm.
I mean, the government won't know.
I won't do that.
I'm just saying,
man, I'll sit
I
in a
need to make
wheelchair.
cash on the
I will
side.
sit if I could go on disability today. I would assume a life in a wheelchair for the rest of my life.
Well, here's the
like
thing.
if you told me right now,
no, you got to take the
how much
disability
do I
and
get?
do
No,
the
how much
pressure
do I
washing
get?
work.
How much do I get? How much of what I get now do I get? It's a percentage, right?
Yeah, it's not much.
It's not.
like it's like $800 a month or something.
Okay. For $1,000 a month, I would assume an
$1,500 a month
for $1,500 a month, I would sit in a wheelchair for the rest of my life and and then do that walk move where you walk. You kind of move your toes and walk you places. And they're like,
Well,
what
no
is your
one's watching.
disability? I'm like, I just can't walk.
No one's watching. Like once you get on,
No, but I'd sell it. Because I'd sell it hard.
Well, there are people that watch, just so you know. There's a company called Sedgwick, and they send out private investigators to film you, watch you, everything you're doing.
oh,
Look at you, Sedgwick.
Oh, who's that? Who's that looking at me out there? I think I saw Dan stand out of his wheelchair.
They
and
look on your social media to do all that
and you know what
stuff.
makes you extra paranoid? Paying bills.
I'm looking out the windows. I'm
You're all
like,
strung out.
I think Cedric's got helicopters. I can hear him.
I haven't pooped in 3 days. And Sedgwick's out there.
I'm so constipated, Cedric.
All
right, let's get out of here.
Get out of here. Charles, thanks so much for coming by. We
appreciate you,
it.
man.
Thank you, guys.
And
We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Welcome to A Corporate Tom with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan.
I know we got our 10-year ACT anniversary show coming up.
Yeah. Let me do it.
Okay.
It's at the Wayne Dench Performing Arts Center. It's the Ritz Theater at the Wayne Dench Performing Arts Center. God, I messed it up. I thought I was going to be able to do it because normally you mess it up, but you got in my head, and I messed it up.
It's on TomandDan.com. You can get tickets, $10, and the after party's at Tuffy's. So that's going to be May 31st.
Indeed.
So we got a special guest.
Is our guest traveling? Are we talking to him as he's traveling to?
Yeah.
He's going to. Our next guest. You can see them March 28th in Tampa. I believe that's where they're going right now. March 29th, Jacksonville, and March 30th at one of our main watering holes and favorite bars, the Weston Trading Company in Sanford, Florida. It is Nick from the Found Footage Fest. What's up, Nick?
Hey, Tom and Dan. How you doing?
Good.
So, Nick, I got to ask you, because Daniel has been explaining he's been following you guys.
Well, let me explain what happened. Nick, you'd probably do it best, and a lot of times we're bad interviewers, and we start explaining what you do. I'm going to take a page. I'm going to take a page out of my own book and just say, can you explain simply to our audience what the Found Footage Fest is?
God, it's been 20 years. I don't think I'm any better at that, but here's my best attempt. It's a guided tour through the weird VHS collection of me and my childhood friend Joe. And so these are all VHS tapes found at thrift stores that weren't meant to be shown in public. So not movies, but things like exercise videos and training videos you might have had to watch in a break room. And we project them on a huge screen in a dark room for drunk people.
Yeah, and he's giving me shivers because there was a time. I'm 47. I don't know your age, Nick, but
yeah, 48.
Okay, so we're right
the same age.
Yes, so I remember in my bedroom there was a VCR tape that was a copy that I'd passed around, and it was of the infamous farting preacher.
Oh. Yes, I love that.
This is when Farting Preacher was just making the rounds, and this is when you had to get Farting Preacher on a VHS copy.
Okay,
and it was like making its round. But then, like the idea of, and that's not exactly what he's talking about, but the idea of finding like my mom's Jane Fonda workout cassettes. But like you're finding more rare, really, really interesting, like almost independent VCR like kind of creations. Are you not?
Yeah, these are like strange one-off special interest tapes. So, Jane Fonda for us is mainstream. So we found one called the Nude Treadmill Workout. And it's exactly what it sounds like. People on treadmills nude working out. I don't know who that was for, but some perv bought that.
Hold on, how'd you find that? Like, did someone send it to you?
No, these are just at Goodwill's, charity shops, people's garage sales. Lately, we've been going to estate sales, where somebody's has died and they're getting rid of, they're liquidating all their assets. So you're going into somebody's home, you find their VHS collection, and, you never know if the nude treadmill workout's going to turn up.
So, okay, I'm curious about that. So you go to a estate sale and someone died and then has a whole wall of VHS tapes, right? How do you, or do you buy them all, then slowly go through them, or do you scan them and then pick out the ones that you know?
This is a lot of work.
Yeah, like, this has got good potential.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for saying it's a lot of work, because my parents still don't know what I do. But we used to buy more. Now we're more selective because we started collecting tapes in 1991. I found a training video in the break room of the McDonald's I was working at in high school, and it was so ridiculously dumb that I took it back and showed it to my buddy Joe. I stole it, basically, and it became this sort of running commentary of jokes, and we'd have friends over in our small hometown in Wisconsin, and that's essentially what we're doing now, but we have more material. And so at the time, anything that looked funny, we would buy. Now, just since we've been collecting for, 30-some years and doing our live show for 20, it's we've had to, you see the same tapes sometimes when you're at the estate sale or at the thrift store. So that one wasn't that good. Or,
gotcha.
But ultimately, you don't know until you put it in the VCR and, spend the man hours watching a cash register instructional tape, for example. You don't know if there's going to be something funny on it until you watch it.
Like one of the ones that you and I went through, Tom, not even like a few months ago, was that, again, this is mainstream, this is not necessarily what he's talking about, was that Waffle House instructional video.
Oh, yeah.
Where we learned, how they place the jelly packet to identify a biscuit or something. It's insanity. It's just pure insanity. And another thing that you guys did, and this is where my admission comes, I thought Chef Keith was I thought that was a real thing.
Oh. Yeah, so what this is, on the road we do these like morning news shows. We're doing one in Tampa on Friday, and what we realized very early on was a lot of these shows, they didn't know, they forgot we were coming, they would get the name of the show wrong.
Yeah. We've worked in morning radio
for so long. That's why we podcast now. We had to get out of that.
Yeah, but we are totally familiar.
Yes.
Like Daniel does this thing called Straight Talk, where it's kind of the opposite, where we're like he's the interviewer, and then we get these obscure interviewees, but it's similar to.
And then we just let the entire show go haywire, like the microphones fall down and everything explodes. We do a thing called Straight.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, Straight Talk is very much like Chef Keith, but I had to admit to Tom that you guys got me, and I said that could never happen. But I watched him. When I first watched him, I'm like, look at this knucklehead. Like I was all in, man.
Yeah. Well, you try to thread that needle where you don't get kicked off the station, but you do really dumb things, and you're the idiot. So instead of pitching ourselves with Found Footage Festival, we just thought, what if some of these same morning shows we'd been on as ourselves that were disasters, what if we pitched fake characters that we thought were so ridiculous, like you could ferret out that they were, not real. So we pitched a yo-yo expert first who was promoting environmentalism through yo-yoing on Earth Day.
I love it.
He got booked on a dozen morning news shows. Our buddy Mark played the yo-yo expert, and then we decided we let that die down. And then a few years later, we did the fake chef character, Chef Keith, and I went on and said I was this rock and roll chef, and my signature dish was turbo gravy, which was all your leftovers from Thanksgiving put into a blender and made into a smoothie. And then we tried to see if the anchors would try a little bit on air. They just want to keep the segment smooth. And then just recently, well, I guess it was like 3 years ago, we decided to see how far we could push the boundaries of stupidity. And we went on as a strongman duo called Chop and Steal.
Chop and Steal.
Yeah.
And that one you could probably, if you're watching at home, you probably knew that was goofy. And, because Joe and I, you can't see us on a podcast, but not strong, I don't think is the first word that would come to mind.
Very average.
Yeah. and so, but we showed up, and all the news stations who booked us, except one turned us away, but everybody else said yeah, and we got on and did these really unimpressive feats of strength, and that one we actually got sued for.
By Gray, right? You got sued by Gray Television.
Oh, they sued you?
Yeah.
I was going to wait for that part, but so they do this. So tell the story. So you're doing this, and obviously some people are buying it, some people are obviously skeptical, and you pull one over on the owner of this telecommunications company, and they're mad. They get real mad?
Yeah, well, we did like three of these. We got booked on a dozen stations, and we did three of them. And one was in our college town, small town, Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and we did the show. They had to do promos like coming up, or you're watching WEAU, and so the station itself wasn't mad, and I don't think they knew we weren't real strongmen. They just thought, well, that was the segment didn't go as we planned, but that's how it goes. But then the owner, Gray Television, who owns 100 stations, they're based in Atlanta, I think. They got embarrassed as a I guess a network or whatever it is, and so in order to teach us a lesson about testing the journalistic skills of their anchors, they sued us in federal court, and we were in the middle of doing more of these and had to put it on hold to find a lawyer, and it was pretty harrowing. But
what did they sue you? Hold on, I'm curious. So what did they sue you for? What did they say the damages were?
It was that's the whole thing. There weren't damages, maybe to their reputation, but that was on them. So it was
right.
It was it was for fraud and conspiracy to commit fraud. Were the main ones.
You're not really strong, man. You're a fraud.
But isn't it all entertainment? Like the news is entertainment. It's all the same.
Well, we were like the least ridiculous thing that they booked that week, too. We see the other people in the green rooms at these shows, and we're probably the most entertaining thing on there.
Yeah.
So ultimately, Vice News was doing a story about it. They called Gray for comment, and all of a sudden we got all these voicemails saying, let's settle. So ultimately, after a year of getting badgered and sort of harassed and having to pay legal fees, we came out on top. And
right on.
The good news is at the end of it, our lawyer was like, check this box if for this thing. Oh, did you want a copy of your depositions? And all of a sudden we're like, oh, we're in the business of found footage and highlighting awkward and uncomfortable moments on video. Now we can have 20 hours of us uncomfortable squirming in a stuffy conference room being grilled by lawyers. So
can I get that? Yeah. Can I get my deposition? Can I go back? I did that. I was deposed one time. Can I get that?
Did you?
Yeah, I'll get it.
Yeah, you could. we had to pay, I think, $500 for it, which is the most we've ever spent for, footage before. But it was well worth it. We got to make fun of ourselves, and it was like in our last touring show, we called it the worst of depositions, and we went through 20 hours of footage and just picked out the most uncomfortable moments.
That's fantastic.
So Nick, I'm curious.
You should try to get yours.
I'm gonna, man.
I'm curious.
Mine was when Orlando. Well, I should probably not say that. Yeah.
So, but when you have this footage, do you ever put it on the internet, or do you hold it so that only people can see it at the live show?
Well, we hold the best stuff and the longest edits of things for our live show. We want that to be a special thing, but we do post little samples and snippets on our website and social channels. A little bit of both, but we try to make the live show special, so it's stuff you can't see anywhere else, including our own website and YouTube channel.
Yeah, because I love seeing like the VCR theater and stuff that you guys did. Like I was going through a little bit of your YouTube, and I urge all of our listeners to do that, because there's just tons of great stuff on there if you want to kill some time. There's incredible stuff on there. And also, don't forget, guys, 28th Tampa, 29th Jacksonville, 30th at the West End Trading Company in Sanford. We love that place. Go and snatch those tickets. The chat room was asking if they are sold out. I would definitely go there and check.
Yeah, you can drink at westend.com.
Yeah, drink at westend.com.
So Nick, is this basically the business is touring, selling tickets? Is there merch involved? I'm always curious, just because like we do our own podcasting business, and I'm always curious how other people do it as well.
We have the dumbest merch table you're ever going to see in show business. It's so stupid. It's like, all the videos we show are so hyper-specific, and we almost have a merch item for every specific thing. And so, can I swear on the podcast or not?
Yeah, we'll beat
that
out.
Go ahead.
Okay, we found a VHS recording of a German adult movie, and the actual title, it comes up in bold letters, is Frisbee and it's two guys throwing a frisbee, a girl intercepts it, and then you could probably guess what happens next, and then a big title comes up, black letters on a yellow background that says that title. And we decided, what if we made frisbees that had that logo on it?
That's brilliant.
So at the merch table, we sell frisbees, and we can't keep these things in stock. For some reason, everybody wants a vulgar frisbee to toss around in the park. So,
I kind of want one too. I gotta say, as soon as it left your lips, I was like ready, reaching for my wallet, man. I'm ready.
It's so dumb. Yeah.
Nick, I love this. And Daniel said, he was like, hey, Nick and Joe are kind of like
They're
us.
our guys.
They're our guys.
These are our guys.
They provide a really good product, and they F around all the time.
But it's really weird.
And they make fun of themselves. They make fun of what they do. And it's funny because, back in the day, when we first started this business, we bought some coolers online, and we got them through some, Alibaba website or whatever.
It was terrible. We didn't have any money, but we wanted to sell like a lunch cooler.
And they showed up, and they were super tiny, like one can fit in them, and they're just so crappy. And and then we sold them as Chinese and coolers. So that's literally like Chinese cooler, and they sold out in a day.
Oh my God! It's our greatest selling product to this day.
And we realized, just like you, it's like people like the joke.
Yeah,
and they
want to support. They like the joke,
and they like the inside joke of it.
And you can only get that frisbee at these events. I would stop
right. Exactly. No, it's all about branding. So you get crappy coolers, you sell them as crappy coolers. I think it's a great idea.
Well, Nick, thanks.
You're getting my wheels turning about selling coolers at the merch table.
Do it. Steal it.
Yeah. You got to tie it into a video, though, so you're going to find a cooler video.
Fair's fair. I wrote down frisbee, so fair's fair.
Yeah. Well, Nick,
I'm sure they exist. I'm sure there's an Igloo training video somewhere. Right?
Oh, not a bad idea.
Can you throw out where people can find all the videos, all the social, and everything?
Yeah, foundfootagefest.com has links to everything. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all the places. And we do a weekly internet show, because we're only in Florida once every few years. So we do a Tuesday night show called VCR Party. That it's just all the newest stuff we found that week. Basically, we're just throwing it up and
it's really
seeing
good.
what sticks.
Yeah, it's awesome and it's laid back and they just throw in the videos and let you watch. It's killer. So hey, thank you so much for the time, man. We appreciate it and enjoy Florida for the first time in 2 years.
Thanks. Yeah, we'll see you in Sanford. Looking forward to it.
All right, man.
Cool.
Be good.
See you, Nick.
That is Nick from the Found Footage Fest.
It's so interesting that we live in a time, and I love this, by the way.
Live in a time.
But it's becoming harder and harder because there only can be so many things. And
There can only be one. There can be only one. Highlander.
But Nick and Joe, they came up with this idea, and then they turned it into a business.
I love it.
And it's such a weird thing. Like, we find these.
I wish I'd thought of it. I like
obscure-
this. I wish I was driving around getting VCR tapes at old ladies'
But
houses.
it's the same business as our business, or
Not
it's
the
really
same.
any
Way better.
local, media business or like online social influencer business is like you do this thing. And all right, how do you turn it into a business? You get followers, you put out content, and then you sell tickets. So like they're going more the ticket route, or they're doing tours because obviously they've got listeners
Well,
across
they're
the country.
also, we didn't really get into this, but they're also like very high in media. Like one of the gentlemen, I believe Joe, wrote for The Onion. And I believe,
yeah.
And then I believe Nick may have been a writer for The Daily Show. Like we're talking about people that are like, not just two bumpkins from Florida that started a podcast.
No, they understand.
Not to sell us short.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm proud of what we do, but I mean,
Yeah. They were.
sometimes I forget both of us went to college and graduated. I forget that all the time.
How much does that really mean nowadays?
For some reason, it does still, like, when you say it to people, are like,
I know,
really?
I know.
Like, when I tell, like, I don't know if it's a good thing or bad. I'd be more inclined to think it's a bad thing that when I tell people we were both UCF graduates, like, what?
It's that means they think we're fools.
They do. I think they do.
Well, we are though. So
I see. Are we?
Yeah,
we are.
I mean, we're not.
We're not.
We're not fools.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Now, how much of a fool are we on the spectrum?
Depends on the day.
I was thinking about this the other day.
I changed my foolness. We had somebody, I got in an argument with him. We had somebody on Reddit say that we're too off the rails now. We're too cuckoo crazy.
Oh,
There's no straight person.
Quit looking at Reddit. They don't know.
No, it's fine. It's fine. No, everything's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
They say it's too off the rails. It's too crazy in here. I barely know how to turn on everything. It was a hard morning.
I've done the deductions, and it seems like everybody wants us to be as funny as possible. And that's what we're doing.
Okay. All right, that's fine with me.
Hey, you want us to like tone it down?
There's no toning here, buddy.
Anyway,
I'm straight flab.
So I was thinking about this the other day, and we've notoriously joked around about being bad at business, right?
Yeah.
So, and we
almost too much, though. No, are we? Am I being serious here, or should I make jokes?
No. Well,
I think we've done it too much because now people think we're dumb.
Yeah, but that's fine. Who cares? We're not doing business.
But then it makes me think I am dumb. Like I start thinking they're right, and I start second guessing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm in my own head.
Well, we're not dumb. So, Anyway, in a world full of other bad at business people, if we're bad at business too, but not as bad at business as the others, what does that make us? Not good at business, just better
than bad.
Well, not really.
Better than, worse than good.
The top end of bad.
Shooting for good?
On the spectrum of bad at business,
top of
we're
bad.
closer to good than
bad.
Than the real bad.
Are we bad, though?
Yep.
Okay.
I
knew it.
But not as bad as others.
Right.
Which makes us better than others.
But still not good.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's really good.
Not in.
There are people that make good business decisions. Like, okay, let's look at the NFL.
My wife is good. I think Andrea is good.
The NFL is pretty good at business. If you just look at it like to making money, right?
Okay.
But it's only because I think they lucked out in the fact that they are now in a world where nothing's live and everything's on demand. And it's the only product that people are watching live and still watching like network TV for and stuff. So the advertising power has never been bigger, right? Now,
that's true.
The problem is as 10 years from now, because they just announced that they're doing streaming only games next year, like Peacock is
same thing
hosting,
they sort of did this year, right?
but they're ramping it up, and so a lot of people think that in the future the Super Bowl will be streaming only, and like everything is going to be streaming, and so then it's all right now without that huge pool of advertising money that the networks were giving you, right, throughout the entire country of all the affiliates, they'd sell the commercials, that's a lot of money.
It is.
I don't know what they're going to do because that's so much money. It's the same thing with the terrestrial radios having a problem. It's like so much money of old school heritage money.
And you got to somehow convert it into the new money.
Yeah, it's streaming.
The new commercials, right?
Yeah. So then the streaming services have to pay you what you would have made, or they have to start adding their own commercials. And then the problem is the sales force, all these small markets have a sales force established already. And what I'm saying? So it becomes very complicated, but slowly but surely, it seems like everything's just going to go to streaming and on demand and stuff.
It's almost already there.
But I feel like the NFL will inevitably make less because of it. Because the infrastructure now...
Well, that would make sense because, even if you just used me as an example, I hit a sweet spot in the radio business where conventional radio style, I will make X amount, and this is the most I will ever make. I'll never make more because I'm working for the Monsters. We're syndicated in 6 markets.
I'm
the
syndication money.
And I had all different revenue streams coming in. So I had like a little money from Louisiana. I had some from Georgia. I had, that's.
It feels like
just
they're
cyclical
in the peak.
for everything.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So it's like now unless they start going into a direct subscriber
That's
service.
what I think they will do.
But
I think the NFL, because why not have your own sales force sell it on your own app and then own everything and just do it yourself?
The problem is
MLB does that.
Yes, but
and NFL's a better product with what, double, triple, maybe
the
quadruple the listenership.
I've seen
maybe
another.
More. How much more?
The WWE. Remember when they released their own app?
Well, that was a disaster.
And it was because they realized just let an established company that has a sales force, and because it's too hard to build something and then just give it to someone else it's already established.
So it'll
take years.
It'll be the NFL app presented by NBC or CBS or CNN or Amazon right. And they just let them control it?
But what about all that affiliate local advertising money? They need some way to get that. They need the AutoZone in Orlando to put in.
Because all 6 AutoZones will pull their money and buy the commercial. No, I know what you're
what I'm saying? So all that local money they got to figure out, because now we have the structure of it's all like local markets, and then they get a certain amount of time, then there's national commercials, right? Mm-hmm. Just like the Super Bowl. So,
you don't get that in stream. Well, no, you do.
You can, but
you geofence it, and it's a mess.
But the local people, the local salespeople have the relationship with the local AutoZone here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the Amazon or Netflix is going to jump in this game. They
already are.
They're with that Jake Paul and Tyson fight. Yeah. Like,
when is that again?
They're doing more and more live events. It's the summer sometime. I think in May, maybe. You
want to have a party? Should I have a party? Should we have a listener party somewhere?
Here,
should we buy it and do it somewhere? Just so we can all be a part of it.
I'm glad you brought this up because
should we take a break or you want to power?
Okay, let's take a break, and when we come back, I want to talk to you about this because when I heard Mike Tyson talk about it, I have a different feeling now.
Okay, all right. We'll talk about that when we return.